Yeah. Jesus loves me. Yes. Jesus loves me.
You stupid.
That ugly vibrato. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Cowardly Lion.
I'm a mean old lion. Oh, that's the no, that's the that's the Wizard of Oz, not the Wiz, huh? Yo, my good people.
We're
back again, another episode, DFW Shed Sessions. We got the beautiful Professor Mel Will.
Hey.
My good brother, J Ell Groove.
Tis I.
Man, we got a good guest.
Now listen, Lou.
The guest.
We got the guest. Okay.
Now Lou, I know I've said this before, but I actually mean it this time. I think this is gonna be.
I just want you to mean it with your whole heart.
I do. I mean it every time I say it, but I really mean it this time. I think this is going to be one of them ones.
Okay, man. Let's get this show on the road. We got my good brother Ty Foard in the building.
I'll clap it up for him one time.
Yeah.
I don't say this about many, but I go one of my OGs. One of the cats who. All right. one of the cats who that I literally watch how I met Ty Foard. I'm in high school at Maceo Smith High School, and a couple of the staff there, they were a part of this thing called the Poetic Wine Cellar. Yeah. And they were poets, and they were it was just this talented group of like poets, musicians, or whatever. It was like this umbrella type thing. So you got these 4 kids in high school that wasn't supposed to be in there in the first place, and I forget. I feel like it was. Y'all used to be at the Pearl. Was it the Pearl or?
It was.
I know it was downtown. I know it was kind of like toward Deep Ellum.
Tafiji's.
Was it Tafiji's?
Yeah.
Okay, it might have been Tafiji's.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tafiji's. So you got these 4 kids in high school. Now you got all these middle-aged, 35 and up.
Grown people.
And you got these 16, 17-year-olds. So we can't. And so shout out to JDK. We came in there as a group because we was a singing group and we was trying to be like on our Boys to Men shit.
Okay.
But
okay.
But what I'm saying? So but those people that worked at Maceo, they saw something in us. They was like, yo, like y'all just come on and y'all do y'all thing there. Do it there and see if it worked. And they just welcomed us with open arms. Again, we were not supposed to be in there. Right? We were way too young to be in there. But yeah, man, and that was in high school. So this is like 2000. For me, this is like 2006, 2007. So yeah, that's how long I've been knowing Ty Foard. So yeah, we just wanted to start there.
Actually, I want to say it wasn't Tafiji's. That would have been the first Sandaga. So where Sandaga is now, they were actually in the industrial area. It was like more like a warehouse.
Okay.
Over there.
Yeah.
And they brought them in. So just to correct a little bit of what you said.
Okay.
They were welcomed with open arms to everybody except for me, because I didn't know.
Really?
I didn't know until they were like, hey, we got this group of guys, we're going to have them sing. So I was like, cool, let's bring them in. And so they bring them in and they singing, and I'm looking at these young cats and they singing, they sound good. Yeah. They harmonizing everything. They singing some raunchy songs too. And I'm looking and I'm like, one of them, he got some peach fuzz, like it's a couple of hairs above his chin. I mean, his lip They just came in. They barely came in. I was
still wait behind the ear.
Yeah, I'm like
on that Similac.
I'm listening to what they saying. They singing like they grown men, but I said them look like some little boys. I'm like, where y'all find these boys at? Yeah. Oh, they're my students. Students. Like they still in school now. They was like, yeah. I said, y'all know we gonna be in trouble. We can't break. But they killed it. The audience loved it. So as the host, I'm coming up because I'm about to kick their backs in. I'm like, what the hell y'all doing here? Y'all finna get me cussed out, kicked out, all kinds of stuff. But they done killed it in the crowd going crazy. So who I look like walking up saying, these young, I'm like, hey, y'all give it up for them. They killed him, blah, blah, blah. We got to bring them back, and so then after that, it was just, I used to tell Leg them, I was like, hey, bring them in, but make sure we keep them kind of covered up and hidden in the back before we bring them in. Then once we bring them in, but no roaming. I can't have them roaming. Cause
just stage, get in and get out.
Yeah. I mean, but they still hung out. They kind of, they got to probably see some things they shouldn't have been seeing at that age, but.
At all.
You remember, I just thought about, you remember the American Dream with the Jackson 5 when they went out to that bar, club, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And little Michael saw that woman. She was like, hey, he's so cute. And she went out dancing. He saw a lot.
Hey man, we did. And then it was like because the song that we would always sing, it was called Stroking You. Again, 16, 17 years old. I'm looking at your body right next to mine. Girl, I want you all the time. When I'm stroking you, what you gonna do? When I'm stroking you, what you gonna do? And
were you the lead singer?
I was not. It was JDK and the E was silent. That's how he did that.
Okay.
Because JDK, they already had a group. I got in the group on accident. And when y'all see this, y'all know I'm telling the truth. I was the only one that had a car at the time. So that's how I got in the group. I was the only one that had a car. So those are the homies. And I would drive them around to their studio sessions and stuff like that. And there was one time where we was just chilling. And I'm just not trying to, but they harmonizing. I'm singing the bottom note on top of, they 3-part harmony. I'm singing so I'm micing Boys to Men at this point. And I'm singing the bottom, and the producer was like, yo, that sounds good, actually. Hey, go in there and do that. So I went in there and did that, and then that's how that happened.
Did y'all do like choreography, or y'all just sang it?
Because everybody was fat but me at the time. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Keno, shout out to Josiah, shout out to Q Jones, and
Q, that's the one I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I see his face, I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah, Q.
Oh, Q. Okay.
Q Jones, but yeah, man, and so that's how all of this started, man, as far as our relationship going in. Ever since then, man, I've just watched him. If you wanna know, for everybody that's out there watching, if you wanna know why I might come off as a dick while we're working, it's because I was watching him. I will watch.
He's the reason why you're the way you are.
No. While we're working, one thing about Ty is he's a fun-loving guy. He love to have fun. He love to kick it. But when it's time to work, when it's time to rehearse, when it's time to talk about business, dude is not fun to be around.
Ty, you are the reason why nobody likes Jay.
And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But then you see the results.
Right.
You see the results. You see the respect behind it. You see, okay, all right, let's come in, let's get to work, let's do what we got to do, and then you see the product. You see what happens after that. That no kind of no nonsense thing has come about, and a lot of people will sit there and try to demonize you for just having good work ethic.
Yeah,
it's like, yo, this ain't the time for that.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, I'm the one spending money for this, for this rehearsal space. I'm spending money for this, blah blah blah. I don't pay for food for everybody. I don't toss a couple of y'all gas money, blah blah blah. No, I didn't come here to kick it or play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I came to, came to work.
We need to call you TJ.
or you can just keep calling me what you call me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I owe a hell of a lot to this young man right here.
Much
So
respect.
Yeah,
hell of a lot to that man.
Yeah, it always, for me, it always comes down to, you know, what we doing and why we doing it.
Yeah.
If we here to play, then let's play.
Yeah.
You know, if it's playtime and you hear being a Debbie Downer, killing the groove, then I got an issue with you.
Mm-hmm.
If we here to work and you want to play, I got a problem with you.
Yeah.
You know, I never want to waste my time, but in that I never want to waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, you know, why are you here? If you're not here to work, then why are you here? Oh, I'm here for this. Okay, well, that collides with what I'm doing right now. So, you know, I'll hit you when I'm free and I can want to play around. Then we can play around together. But if I'm here to work and you're here to play, we not going to get along because you're going to be in my way.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
You're in my way.
Okay.
So let's start from the top. Start from the tippity top. Lou, what you got?
Yeah, okay, so I see that you're dabbing a few things. You're a writer, director, actor, radio host, DJ. Did I miss anything before we?
Oh, he is a dancer.
Oh, okay.
He is a singer. If you watch his live,
that might have been in his Puerto Rico Tyrico days.
So
he's a comedian.
Yeah. That's a hard one.
Okay, well, so let's start from the beginning. So how did all of this come about? Like what started first, then allowed you to move to these different areas?
I think music, just the entire capacity of music has always been what drove me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so whether that was singing, dancing, you know, all of that. When the one thing that a lot of people who met me as an adult did not know was that, you know, I started singing. I was a singer. I actually left high school and went to college on a voice scholarship.
Oh, okay.
So I was more of a classical singer.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, went to state in high school as a bass, part of award-winning quartets and all of that. So, and so I got into music theater,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of helped me evolve more on the acting side and the dancing side.
Mm-hmm.
So not only do I do hip hop dance, I'm classically trained dancer as well.
Okay.
You be doing pliés and shit.
Yeah, and you know what? The funny thing is, because I played football in school as well, and I kept getting hurt, kept breaking my ankle, and so I ended up having to do therapy. And one of the options after the third time that I, you know, messed my ankle up was taking dance, ballet, and so it was for the flexibility. And I was like, at first I was like, I ain't doing this shit.
Yeah.
But when I looked at how it helped me in theater, I was like, okay, I might as well take advantage of it. And so when I would do musicals or audition for musicals, all of a sudden now my classical dance skills got better. So it allowed me to, you know, get more opportunities. So when people ask, what do you do? I think it sums up, I just call myself an entertainer.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, Cedric said he the entertainer.
The entertainer.
I do a little bit more than Cedric. So the only thing that I never really got skilled at was the instrument side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I took piano. I took piano as a kid, took piano in college, dropped it 3 times. Yeah, I dropped it. I dropped it 3 times. Something about my left hand didn't want to go with the right. Yeah. So I can sit down at a you know, piano, keyboard, and play some notes.
Yeah.
And, you know, and if I'm working with somebody singing, I know all of that. But to sit down and just do, I didn't have the patience or the coordination in that to do it. So.
Got you, man.
If you had a dream to be fluent in one instrument, what would it be?
Saxophone.
Sax.
Yeah, you know what? Sax, and that was a selfish reason. just because I just thought the sax was sexy. I thought it was. I thought it was. You know, I grew up listening to Kenny G and just. I was
this
like,
is for the ladies.
I said women. Yeah, women love the saxophone. But when I think about what I do now, you know, what I've done most of my life, I wish I would have really learned the keys.
Yeah.
Because I think that would have helped me just in the foundation of building a lot of the stuff that I was building.
Keys is more sexy than saxophones anyway.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. But, I mean, you the lady saying it, so you the lady, I ain't going to argue with you about that.
As a singer, I feel like it is.
Gotcha. I definitely, especially like with the plays and stuff, I think, you know, that would have helped me. But that also probably would have made me even more of an asshole when I'm dealing with people. I don't need your ass out here. They'd be like, look,
you
I went to
know something wrong or something right. Yeah.
They'd be like, I went to a play. This dude was in it. He wrote it, and then he went back there and started playing piano. I was like,
part of the band.
Man, cause listen, like, cause half of y'all favorite musicians and singers, this man done hired.
Yep.
This man done, including myself. And when I say y'all favorite musicians and singers, they done already, you know, Ty was able to get a hold of them early.
Yeah.
So let me ask, on that note, like you were a part of that developing music scene in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So to fast forward a little bit, like what got you around like all of these? Because I mean, half of the people that you was working with back then, I'm not gonna say that they were nobodies, but now these are like Grammy winners and you know, stuff like that. And you got a hold of them early. So what kind of got you in the scene? You know, period.
I think because I was one of the few people at that time in the early '90s. I was young, but I was creating opportunities.
Absolutely.
And so, I was bold enough to step out and do it without asking permission.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't looking for, okay, well, who's the gatekeepers? I just said, fuck it, if the gate's over here, then I'll just play in this field that ain't got no gate around it or a fence around it. And I think it attracted people to say, oh, well, he over here, let's go over here and see what he's doing. And I wasn't, you know, at one point there was some people who thought I was like a promoter, and I really wasn't a promoter. I knew I knew music. So even though I wasn't officially ever part of a band, or you didn't really see me singing with a, you know, band or nothing like that, when I hired people to work with me, I knew what was right. I knew what sounded right. I knew, you know, I'm like, hey, so you couldn't bullshit me. So they knew I had a background in music. They just didn't know like what do you really do? You know, and so I did catch people, you know, who were, you know, Sean G says all the time, you know, when I run into Sean G, he was like, man, it wasn't no intense. He was like, I came to one of your wine cellars and you was just like, get up here and sing. Yeah. And then after that, he was like, man, I just kind of like, we need to keep doing this. And, you know, next thing you know, it's an Intense. I remember the first time I heard of Intense, I was like, Intense? They was like, yeah. I'm like, no, I don't think I heard them. They was like, I was like, who's in it? It's like, Sean G. Sean G?
Yeah.
I know Sean. Yeah. Like, Sean used to sing. Like, they were like, oh, okay, that's who Intense is. So, you know, several bands. It was, you know, it was funny because I didn't know where these people was going. Yeah. I just knew talent when I saw talent. Yeah. And when I saw potential, then I just felt like if I had to, if I was creating a platform and you had potential, when I saw it, get up there and do it. Yeah. Some of the best saxophonists in city today was on my shows, and I'm fussing at them. Man, get your ass out there and entertain them people. Standing on the stage just playing, blowing that horn. Get out there, they you know. And so it was like, and now when I see some of them, and I see them walking around the crowd and stuff, and getting in, I'm like,
Now listen. When it come to being a host, when it comes to hosting and stuff like that, engaging the crowd, capturing the crowd, bringing the crowd up, bringing the crowd down, and stuff like that. Like again, growing up watching this dude, you know what I'm saying? Like literally being able to control the crowd, control the band, control like everything. Mind you, not quote unquote being in the band, but still being able to control the band, still being able to say, yo, do this, do that, or whatever. It's like it was almost a master class in a certain sense for me. Just watching him grow up now, or watching me grow up now. Let me ask you this: when did poetry become prominent in Top Fourd's life?
During that time frame, I want to say, you came around 06, 07?
06, 07, yeah.
Probably, by that time, we probably was like 4 years in. So I'm going to say around 02. I was a writer. Mm-hmm. And I had...
So which one came... Okay, so music came first, and then you have the playwright and the poet. Between the playwright and the poet, which one of those? The playwright came first.
Yeah. Well, I mean... If we want to say publicly what came.
Publicly, yeah.
Plays. I had been writing since I was a kid, too.
Okay.
So, wrote my first play when I was like 9. Mm-hmm. And then throughout junior high and high school, I was writing poetry.
Yeah.
So I was writing love letters.
Was that another selfish thing? Just you trying to pull chicks?
Actually, it turned into that. But as a kid, I just wrote because of the type of lifestyle that I was living. Mm-hmm. I didn't have nobody really to talk to. I didn't feel like I could.
Yeah.
I was a little kid with a big mind and a big imagination, so I just write stuff down, and I just started writing because I couldn't talk to nobody else. As I got older and turned, a teenager, then. And saw the first teacher that I fell in love with. I started writing. Then, the girls started benefiting from that because I write to them. Then I had, classmates that would pay me to write their love letters. So I write, I was writing. Yeah,
hustle going.
I was all about any way I could find a way to make some money. So I would write their love letters for them. Probably like my junior year, I got caught up by 3. I got hemmed up by 3 girls.
Oh man!
And
was you recycling words?
Well, I wasn't, but the guys were
plagiarizing.
The guys were, so they were. It got to the point where.
Hold on.
They were.
I've seen this before.
Yeah, they always getting love letters, and it wasn't the same love letter. It was just the fact that. Man, every dude in the school is gifted like this. Yeah. Like, girl, my dude writing like this, and then wait a minute, something is up. And so one of the dudes finally confessed to his girl that she was like, write something.
Yeah,
he couldn't write it. Yeah, I was ghostwriting.
Ghostwriting the bit.
So then she found out. He told her, it's how I feel. He just wrote it, about that type of stuff. And then they got together, and then
he's not your
one day they hemmed me up.
That's hilarious.
And all 3 of them wanted to talk to me.
I was about to say polygamy.
So now I'm enemy to the guys now because
I just
right.
The jig is up.
Yeah.
I just tried to make me some little money.
So I kept writing, and when I got to college, there was opportunity to perform. But during that time, I was in some pro-black, Afrocentric, inspirational, even inspirational Christian poetry, all of that. I went to this poetry event here in Dallas that K104 was hosting, and I just went as just to see it. And I walk in, and it was during that time, it was that vibe. So I come in with my book bag. And the girl who was hosting, one of the girls who was hosting, Cletus, she was on K104 morning team, and she walks up to me while somebody's on stage, and she walks up to me. She said, "So are you performing?" And I was like, "No, I'm just here watching." She's like, "What's your name?" I said, "Ty." She said, "Well, Ty, you need to get a stage name because I'm calling you up because I know you. I know you do this." And I was like, No. She's like, "No, I'll be back," because she had to go back on stage. She went on stage, called somebody, then she came back, found me. She was like, "So did you come up with a stage name?" And I was like, "No, because my name is just Ty. I don't have no stage name." She's like, "All right, Ty, well, I'm going to call you up." So she called me up, and Luckily, I had my bag. I had, my tablet, my journal. I did something, and the crowd went crazy. And they were doing it every Wednesday, so I just started showing up. And so that's when kind of the performing side of it started.
Okay.
And it just was a vibe. It was just something, and kind of how I am with everything. Yeah. They had their thing going. But I was like, okay, how do I spin this into something? Because this is boring to me. Okay. It's getting boring. I'm writing poetry every I'm writing a new poem every week. Yeah. That was fun. The crowd was fun. But now I'm starting to build a following of my own. And I wasn't making money from this. I was just gaining a little popularity, a little, and some following. So I said, you know what? I need to figure out how I can do my own show. They were doing it on Wednesday, so I figured out, let's do something on a weekend. Let's do a weekend show. That's how the wine cellar started.
I was about to ask how Poetic Wine Cellar started. That's how that started. Okay.
So we, I had a birthday party, and halfway through the birthday party, I stopped everything, stopped the DJ, stopped the music, and I told everybody, I said, hey, we was in the clubhouse. I said, everybody come upstairs. We're gonna do a little presentation. I had hired a band. We did some poetry. Everybody liked it. And so I was like, after we finished, I said, so if I did a show like this, would y'all come? And everybody was like, yeah. That's how I started.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you come up with the name Poetic Wine Cellar?
So the style of poetry that I was doing, I called it Poetic Wine. Okay. So, and it was the name of the poem the first poem that I did.
Oh, okay.
At the club, Cristal's. Okay. It wasn't, so when I did it, it didn't have a name. I just had words and I did it. So this girl walked up to me after I got off stage and she said, hey, I really enjoyed that. Can you do everything you said you could do in that poem? Okay. And I said, I was like, she kind of took me back a little bit and I said, well, no, it's really just poetry. And she was like, she's like, yeah, it's like, she said, but I enjoyed it. It was like I was drinking wine. And I was like, yeah, it's like poetic wine. And she was like, ooh, I like that. So I went back and changed the title. Gotcha. And so I just started kind of branding that name because I liked it. It was like poetic wine and, like words going down your throat, So I used that. And so then when I did the show, when we started doing the show, I was like, okay, we need to come up with a name. But I wanted to be tied into Poetic Wine. I don't want to call it Poetic Wine. I want to be tied into it. And I was like, Poetic Wine, how do we do this? And I was like, you get wine at the store, but you keep your wine in the cellar. Let's call this shit the wine cellar.
The wine cellar, yeah.
And so that's how that got started. So.
Man, probably one of the coldest names for a thing I ever heard in my life. And now, mind you, so this is before internet marketing is a big thing,
exactly.
Right? So how, and I feel like you kind of answered it, but just deep dive into it a little bit more. Like, how are you getting, because I'm going to these things again as a kid,
right,
and I'm seeing these rooms packed. It's even to the point, like, in one setting it'll be in a venue, but then in another setting he's renting out a house in DeSoto somewhere. Yeah. And we in this big ass living room, and they done set up chairs, the band in the corner, stuff like that. So we're doing these things inside of a house. You know what I'm saying? And again, packed. Yeah. Standing room only. So how are you marketing this thing without the internet at the time?
Man, it's crazy because sometimes I talk to some of the people that, most of like some of the musicians, and we talk about that. It was like, man, we didn't have Facebook
at all.
We had Black Planet, we had a few things that was popped off, but it wasn't a marketing tool like IG is now and Facebook is and Twitter. And I was like, man, we was good. We were just good.
Did y'all go to, because I remember, I want to say before social media, you remember when people used to go to other like bars and places, and they used to put flyers and stuff on people's cars?
You know what? Like we didn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
We didn't do that. And that's the other thing.
It just word of mouth, basically.
It was word of mouth. And then it became reputation, and people started used to talk about it. And so then next thing you know, we got people showing up, and my thing was, to entertain the people that was there so they can go and tell somebody else. And next thing you know, if 2 girls showed up and they watched the show, next time we saw them, they had all their friends with them.
Yeah.
And so, and then, you know, and then all of a sudden it became, oh man, all these women be there. So next thing you know, the fellas started being there.
Yeah.
You know, all it took is, again, one dude come, and next thing you know, he bring his homies because he's like, man, I was there by myself. It was about 40 women, you know, 40 to 1, you know. So it was amazing. In fact, we talked about, you know, Chris Styles was one of the first places I was doing poetry at outside of Sankofa's. But Sankofa's, again, was, you know, it was more neo-soul. It was. But when we started doing the wine cellar, there became an issue at Chris Styles.
Really?
Because they felt like we were competition. And I was like, how? Y'all do y'all shows on Wednesday. We do our shows on Saturday.
Yeah.
Y'all have an open mic. I actually have a show where we're featuring poets. So it's you just don't show up and get on the mic at my show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not
because
it wasn't an open. It was more of an invitation.
Invitation. It was. I had featured people who were scheduled to perform, and then if I knew you and I knew you were good, because at open mics, you don't know who's gonna perform.
Exactly.
You don't know if they good. You don't know. You know. So you might have to sit through
Right.
some BS.
Some bullshit. Yeah.
But at the wine cellar, what I was trying to do was promise that you were gonna be entertained.
Yeah.
Now you may not like certain people, but it wasn't because they weren't talented. It was just you didn't like their style or whatever. So we had a show, but because it was growing so fast, and it was, like you said, it was always packed, they felt like we were stealing from them. Because I still was going on Wednesdays and performing. Not one time did we announce it. Even at the venues. We didn't go
cross-promote.
We didn't cross-promote. If people asked us about it, I was like, talk to me when the show over with. But I don't use this platform because I treated that like that was home. And I didn't, and when they started saying that, I wanted to make sure. I was like, so we don't bring no flyers here. We don't do none of that. We don't pass out. We don't put none of that stuff on their cars. We don't do that. We would have kind of bigger shows, and we would have flyers for those shows. But, nah, man, it was just, to answer the, you know, I don't know. It was just, it was the buzz, and we were picking the right time and opportunity to reach people. And I think, like, with a lot of y'all and the musicians and everybody that was kind of getting started, it was a vibe for them to tell other people, hey, I'm going to be over here at this spot. Come over. You know, come check it out. So,
absolutely. And then you know you really struck gold when you have regulars. Yeah. So now you have these exact same people coming every week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have that same core 15, 20 are going, you know, they're going to be there every week. And then what I'm also seeing, so now they've not only just became fans of it, now they want to support in being a part of it. Yeah. So now that person that was just a fan coming to listen, like, now she's helping count at the door. This person is helping doing this. I mean, even something as simple as picking up chairs, and it just became this organic thing, man, that just got big. And I'm like, yo, like, this is dope. I didn't really know before. Well, again, I'm in high school, but I didn't really know the concept of an open mic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like, even with, so all I knew is like, okay, so if it's this event, a little naive is if you had this thing where all these musicians, different musicians and different singers, and everybody, you know, somebody else might come play keys for a little bit and sing, or all these different singers. So that means everybody that get on the mic should be good. Right. Because everybody on the mic was good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember going to my first open mic. I'm like, nah, this ain't the same. No,
this ain't it. And I think when you said, how do you get in the mix with so many other, you know, the talent and a lot of the people that today are the movers and the shakers. Absolutely. Like, how did you, like, at some point you was Ty was here and it was anybody who performed at the wine cellar had to pass a test to say if I thought, if you were good. No, like you said, it wasn't like randoms was getting on the mic. And the test was me.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter what the rest, everybody said, oh, they were good. Are they good?
Yeah.
Okay, let me be the decision. Because I felt like as the person over the entire show, it was going to come back on me. I couldn't say, well, Jay told me they were good and they won.
Yeah.
So that's why even when they brought y'all, I was just like, who these little niggas? Like, they supposed to be some boys and men type of thing. I was like, all right, because the minute they crack, because I would do that. I would stop it, like, hey, that's good, y'all. I'll
give him a hand.
And it was weird though, because even in those type situations, he still found a way to like make it funny.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It wasn't just a downer. Like it was. He still found it. Now it didn't happen to us.
Yeah,
but he found a way to like gently be like, oh, okay, go sit your ass down.
Yeah. Don't do that shit. Don't do that again, y'all. Yeah, that was our intermission. Y'all didn't even know it. Like But it was. Because I had an ear for it all. Because I had done it, and so I was real strict. But it was more of, if you're gonna step in front of a group of people who's paid to see this, then make sure you bring in your best. And if I didn't feel like you were bringing your best, then you're not finna get up here and because now I got to answer to these people who paid their money.
Absolutely.
If it's free, then I don't care. Get up here and act fool, do what you want to do. Same thing with the comedians.
Yeah.
This first time I remember Anastasia came. I didn't know who she was. They were like, she funny. I was like, right. She gonna be funny. If she ain't funny, she gonna be funny because I'm gonna make some jokes on her ass.
Yeah.
And she got up and I was laying on the floor laughing.
Right.
So it was and after that it was just like, same thing. Even the musicians.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's the band. Blah blah blah. Oh, he the host. Oh, he a poet.
Yeah.
Turn around like, oh boy on bass, y'all need to work on him.
Yeah, right.
If he gonna be out of pocket like that, I might as well come up there and do it. At least I know how to hit the notes, but I'm gonna be out. At least they were like, well, he don't even play it. That's why he out of pocket. You play it and you out. Nah, bro. No. So, they would be amazed. I'll turn around and start directing the band. Let's do this. And the ones that's their first time, they looking like, who the hell is this nigga? And I ain't tell her. And whoever the MD is, like, no, follow the nigga. I'm following him, y'all follow him. Let's do what he say, So
and it wound up being a thing. Y'all would come. They would come up with songs. They would come up with full whether they like. Before I saw Ricky Smiley doing it, it was him doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like just and at the time, I think it was it Soul Unit that you had at the time? Yeah, it was Soul Unit that you had at the time. I wound up being a member of Soul Unit like way later, but it's like you had Soul Unit at the time, and then it also helps. It also helps when your band is funny and have a sense of humor and know how to entertain. Yeah. Because now you brought a whole different element to the show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That it, almost in the sense of like I would think about, whenever I would watch y'all, I would think about because I grew up watching late night TV shows. Johnny Carson, Conan O'Brien, Arsenio Hall, and there was always this thing between the host and the band that just made things work. Like even to the point to where sometimes the host and like the MD of the band would do skits together and stuff like that. And then it's like now I'm able to see this element live in front of me. You know what I'm saying? They were doing that way before I saw a lot of other cats doing it, and then of course that's something that I stole and then took that.
Because it brought a different, like you said, it brought a different element to the show, but it also challenged the musicians. Right. To not just be sitting there playing. Yeah. Like engage with the crowd. Figure out a way to engage with the crowd. That don't necessarily mean everybody's talking. Right. The drummer may never say nothing, but he's part of the act. So when they're making a joke, he's something. Right there on it. Yeah. He's always looking. So I wanted to keep everybody on their toes. Right. I don't know what y'all been rehearsing, but if I change the flow or something, how good are you to change the flow with me?
Yeah.
Now somebody who looking for a band, like, wait a minute, them cats, not only are they cold, but they can do a show.
Yeah.
Like a show, not
show.
just play songs.
Yeah.
So even when I did poetry, what, people was like, well, what made you different? The entertaining the crowd.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily just the words I was saying. It was not. It was, I knew how to engage in the crowd.
Yeah.
If people started talking doing poetry, because that wasn't singing, that wasn't comedy. It was different. So some people are like, I don't know nothing about no poetry. They be sitting out there, they be talking. I see a table full of women, they talking. Guess what I would do?
Yeah.
Walk my ass right to that
straight
table
to them,
and start doing the poetry in front of them. They, damn right, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Spotlight, follow me.
Right.
The hell you doing talking while I'm up here talking?
Right.
So you want to be a part of the show? I'm gonna make you part of the show.
Yeah, man.
So with the bands,
I already know that could be annoying.
it was some talented, like y'all cats was so talented. We had one cat, when I could see how fast he could come up with songs and just, like it was rapping but singing.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, bro, start doing this shit. And don't
Yeah.
wait for me to initiate it.
Yeah.
Before the show, we started, some of the shows, we had the band out. They entertaining before
Yeah.
me and my co-host would come out. So
TK, right?
yeah.
TK, yeah.
So we started, you remember Jonah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Dale.
remember.
We said, bro, just
Yeah.
tell the people.
Yeah.
So he was like, give me some words. And they'll just throw out words. Washing machine. Them of us start singing.
Yeah.
The washing machine and put the
Yeah.
clothes in. And then the band just playing like they practice this shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, that separates y'all from everybody else.
Yeah.
Now, other people gonna start doing it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we'll always be able to look and say, you cats started that thing.
Yeah.
I get up there and be like, man, today I was in traffic. Next thing you know, now I ain't even got to tell them. And I ain't even planning it. I'm like, man, traffic pissed me off today. These cats, they assholes like, traffic, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, now I got to be ready for them.
Killing.
And so it was, it was a world of, and an opportunity to just be creative.
Yeah. Shout out to Delbert Moore here.
I know, I miss him.
That was one of the more talented guys. I really wish he had went. I don't know what he got going now. I really wish he had went. He belonged further than what he was.
Man,
he was one of those. First of all, multi-instrumentalist. His vocal range was from one end of the keys to the other end.
ridiculous.
His pen, as far as coming off the top, like what he talking about again, could come up with a whole song, then could hit you with different genres.
Oh,
too.
we did that at the he did that at the church.
Yeah,
We
because
called off, what was it, scriptures or words in the Bible or whatever.
yeah, so because Dale actually he wound up being a musician at my church.
Oh, okay.
At my church, and it wound up because I met Dale when I think around this time this wound up being the 10th anniversary. This is when you had just came out of remission.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about that in a second. And so that's when I first met Dale, and he came to my house and we practicing and stuff like that, and me and him got cool, and then I wound up just like really seeing in person how talented he was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like this dude is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Man. So yeah, I gotta, if he wound up seeing this, I gotta shout out him, man. Definitely gotta shout out him. I wanna move past the wine cellar, but I gotta ask you about Center Stage.
Center Stage.
I gotta ask you about that before we. So
Center Stage.
Okay.
So Center Stage too. So Center Stage. This was the title of a poem, right?
Right.
So what Ty did was it seemed as if you know when Captain America says Avengers Assemble. That's how you feel when they call that poem Center Stage. So it would be Ty and about 3 or 4 other poets. And these are all beasts. Like all of them in their own right. And they all have their different style. They all do their they different thing.
The Avengers of
They
poets.
no, it's literally,
No,
literally
for
because
real.
these were the guys, and I think wasn't Prudence
Yeah.
in one time.
Yeah, we had one
Yeah.
young lady that was part of it.
Yeah, so it's like all of these people are good, but these are the monsters. These are the monsters of this thing, and they did this thing called. So I want to know, and I always wanted to know, like, who came up with, like yo, we all need to picture DJ Khaled, and he get all the good rappers and just they just
Cypher.
yeah, almost like that.
It was like a cipher.
So how did that particular thing, like, where y'all just chopping it up, be like, yo, we should do something together? Like, how did that situation come about?
So I was the Bruce Wayne of that.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne of that. It was. So I put it together. So I had written a poem called Center Stage, and it was just me talking shit.
And that's what it was. It was all y'all popping y'all shit.
Yeah. And I had never, cause up until then, like I said, when I was younger, in college and everything, I was writing neo soul, Afrocentric. I had those type of poems when I would go somewhere like Sankofa.
Yeah.
Or if a church would ask me, to do something there or something, a program.
Yeah.
But when I was in the clubs doing poetry, I was doing sensual, erotica.
Yeah.
And that's what people wanted from me.
Yeah.
Anytime I try to do something else,
Like,
they would be like, all right, that was good. Now do something freaky. I was like, so I wrote Center Stage.
Stop playing with this.
And yeah. All right, now that was, I don't know what you own, but all right, give us something good. So I would do it. So I wrote Center Stage, and I wanted to perform it so bad at the shows. But I was like, they not gonna accept it. Because they ain't gonna accept me doing it.
Yeah.
So I practiced it. I said, I'm just gonna do it one day. Then I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it because they gonna. So I was scared to do it because I was like, I'm gonna turn my crowd off. So we all was hanging out, and I told them, I said, hey, I want to do this poem, but I want y'all to be a part of it. And so I gave them the concept. 2 of them wrote something. I was like, nah, that ain't it. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do my poem for y'all so y'all can see.
Yeah.
Just cause they was doing all the romantic stuff. Cause that's what they thought I was coming at. I was like, no, I'm talking about get up here and talk our shit.
Yeah.
We about to kick these people back, saying if
yeah.
anybody think they can mess with the wine cellar poetry, no, we the gangsters of this poetry thing, So I did it, and everybody was like, say less, and everybody started writing their shit, So it turned into everybody popping off.
Yeah.
And so then it was like, okay, so we gonna do it at the next show, and it's like, well, Ty, you go first. I'm like, nah, I don't want to go first.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm worried about the reception. So I was like, well, Prudence is the the lady of the group. You go first, ladies first. So she pop off, then the guys go, and I come in and come in the rear, which. Growing up listening to rap, you always like, who's the feature?
Yeah,
the feature goes, and then it came a point, do you go first or do you go last?
Yeah.
If you go first, you run the risk of whoever follows you
being fired,
burning you. Yeah. It's like, oh, you got blades on your own track. So I was like, so I had my version. They already heard my version. I hadn't heard theirs.
Oh man!
But I was trusting that they was gonna bring the fire. So I had a backup. I was like, they not finna, you not finna burn me on my own shit. So they all get up there. It is killing the crowd going crazy. And I'm sitting back here like, you motherfucker. Ooh, y'all so dirty. Y'all thought y'all with it. So when I came, it was boom, 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 boom. And I stood my ground, and so it was, that's how it started. So
and that's it's funny you mentioned that, because that's another thing too. Is like they had that one version, but then at times they would change their version. Like, oh, okay, I heard what you did last time. I'm about to I bet. So it almost seemed like it became this thing between them. Like, okay, we gonna see who. it was always something like poetry. Like not on no I call it friendly competition, but it was always something between you and Miles.
Yeah.
Cause my and shout out to Morel Miles, who was also, they called him Mohel. But who was also one of my teachers that introduced us to the Poetic Wine Cellar. Yeah. He was a teacher at Maceo. And you talking about just his first of all, just his personality alone. Yeah. But you talking about an entertainer when it comes to poetry, acting, rapping and stuff like that. And it's like, if of course you were going to see Ty and feel Ty and all that stuff, but whenever that damn Mohel got on stage, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like something like a center stage fit him perfect.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And he
was like a DMX. He
was like a
absolutely. DMX. And so just imagine, regardless of what you wanted to say, I as far as wordplay, I always, if I resembled a rapper, Nas was my boy. So I was like, I want to be deep like Nas. I want to flow like Nas. Yeah. But in the group, I had to be Jay. I had to be Jay because I was like, and you couldn't have Steph because DMX on your ass.
Exactly. But he was also like he was like that dude. But he was like a sexy version of that. He was like a debonair type, but he was still fight. Yeah. You could tell he wanted to fight, but nah, man. Shout out to the. Do you ever still talk to or kick it with any of those cats?
I run into. So Mo lives in. I think he's still in DC now. He moved to DC. I remember. When we do run into each other, we chop it up. Me and him still cool. I can't say the same for everybody else.
Understood. Say less.
Man. That center stage will sound different these days.
How many of y'all was it? Is it
on the regular it was 4. 4? Okay. At times there would be anywhere from 5 to 6 of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because people winded up again like just coming up in the ranks and stuff like that, and like when you like if you go to any type of like open mic or something and it's regular, it's always certain even though they might not be a part of the we call it the house band. It's always those regulars that you still want to always see. Yeah. And so some of those people would they would come up in the ranks and then they would kill, man. Yeah. They would kill, man. Man. So shout out to definitely the Poetic Wine Cellar. I gotta move on to Ty Foard, the playwright. I got a chance to work with this guy on a couple of his plays, and again, blew my mind because this dude, like one of my favorite situations. This dude has taken the story of King David.
Yes.
This dude has taken the story of King David and he's like modernized it. So this one is and you had the prequel and so you had Forbidden Love and what was the other one?
Kingdom Come.
You had Forbidden Love and Kingdom Come. And so pretty much he takes the story of David and Bathsheba and he modernizes it. And
I saw Forbidden Love.
Yeah, and so I was I was able to be the music director. Well, the first time I worked with you on that, I don't know, was I like a state when we went out of town?
Yeah.
Was that like I was like an assistant stage
crew.
hand?
Yeah.
Whatever.
A crew member.
Yeah, something like that. I wasn't a part. I was whatever. I was pretty much there to help.
Floater.
But it was dope. But again, you also have some of the dopest, talented people. You know what I'm saying? Working on this thing, Yancey, all of them. So
big names.
Yeah. So
Rafael De La Ghetto.
Yeah, all of them. But anyway, so being actually putting on a production, you know what I'm saying? Because now you see like. I don't know. It seemed like the whole play thing and state like kind of what you were doing. Seems like that's in a way that's kind of moved to Tubi. I really feel like Kingdom Come could have
been.
You know what I'm saying? Well. First of all, I feel like it could have been bigger than Tubi. But I feel like if Tubi was around, you would have been like, yo, let's
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's put it. But anyway, let's go back to the stage play. And again, this isn't no like Sunday morning. This isn't no Sunday morning. You know, we gonna let the youth come up and do a couple lines. No, this is actually a production. I'm seeing him. I'm talking about from. He's looking at the lighting. He's looking at the people's position on stage when you come in. Like he's directing this thing, but again, he's not just directing them. It's a production. So we got lights to worry about. We got music to worry about. No, that's not the right mood music. I need something, different. Like he's like
the transition music.
The transition music and stuff, like all of this stuff. Talk about what it's like putting on an actual stage play production.
It's like a song.
Okay.
It's like a song. You got so many moving parts in that song. Mm-hmm. And if one thing is not right, then it messes up the song. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So from the lyrics to the notes to what instruments, when the music lowers, when it rises, when everything, the way it ends, the way it starts, the way it climax, all of that. It's not something you wake up and just say, I'm gonna do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so when people see me, from time to time rant about everybody think they can just do this, it's not coming from a place of saying, I don't want everybody to try to do it. I don't want people to do it. I don't want people to disrespect what it takes to get there.
Yeah, because it's a lot.
Yeah. And I think everyone who does anything, whatever your craft is, if you put the right time and effort and passion in it, it's disrespectful for somebody to walk up and just say, I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's why I hate open mics.
You can't. Right. And open mics proves that. It proves that everybody just can't do that. Yeah. It's funny because when y'all was doing the intros, somebody said comedian. Yeah. I've never done a stand-up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And people ask me, say, you should do stand-up. Yeah. You should.
So natural.
Man, I think it's because people don't expect it.
Yeah.
That's what I credit it to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. As a host, people are not expecting it. You the host. Yeah. You just happen to be funny.
Right.
Yeah.
As a director, you're directing, but you like you said, I'm fussing, but I'm cracking a joke at it. So it's like, damn, it's just cussing me out, but but it was funny how he said it, Right. So I think naturally it was funny. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can be funny. Mm-hmm. In writing, I don't just tell a joke. I create a situation, and that situation is funny.
It's funny, yeah.
I think if I stood on stage and said, all right, y'all, I'm about to do a comedy routine.
Yeah.
Then
nobody laugh.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're expecting. Right. So, but from a production, I just think that you take the time to say, I gotta make sure everything is right. Mm-hmm. And so it's like creating a song. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to I think if I had more time to dive into music making, to sit down with with great musicians and producers, and from scratch let's create this song. Yeah. Because to me that's just like creating a play. There's so many pieces. I've sat in studio sessions with people, and as much as I thought I knew about music, sitting in with some of you cats, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, right. I sat in. I happened to get a chance to sit in with Fred Hammonds one time. Mm-hmm. It was like the last 6 seconds of a song, and he was sitting there. His engineer was right there, and he had his guitar, and they were just trying to hit that last part, and he was like, bing, 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 and they was like, whoa, that was it, it. Yeah. And I'm sitting there. Yeah. My friend was like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. They play it back. Nah, we missed each other. I'm like, So they do it again. Listen to it again. Nah. An hour and a half later, I'm sitting there like, nigga, give me that guitar. I'll play this shit. I don't even play the guitar. I know how to play what you just keep.
Right.
But it was, it was. That's not me.
Yeah.
And my friends like, that's how you are when you do your plays.
Absolutely.
And I was like, oh shit.
Absolutely.
I get it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I get it.
I can attest to that.
It's like as a musician, you hear that. You hear that one note, or you missed it by a second, and it's like, let's do it. That's why. So when you say how, it's to me it's the same. And I got a chance to sit again. I got a chance to sit with peers. And I got to sit with somebody who's a Grammy, one of the biggest name in his genre. And I saw that at work, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah. I feel that. Do you ever, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but we can talk about it for a second. Do you ever just get burnt out on the whole? Because again, a lot of people they always see the product. They never see what they probably don't even know that you probably just cussed out the whole cast and then like 20 minutes before y'all coming in and have to do this love scene or something like that. You have they have to sit there and act like they didn't just get cussed out back then. But it's like it's a lot that come to putting on a full production. It's a lot of different energies, a lot of different spirits, a lot of different when I'm gonna get my money, but did you learn your lines though? Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're dealing with like all of that stuff. So it's like does it get to a point to where you're like, what, fucking, I'm done?
In the creative side, never.
Okay.
Never. It never gets. I never get to the point where I was like, I'm done with this. I can't do it, or I'm just tired of it, or it's frustrating. Dealing with people,
absolutely.
There's any breaks that I've taken, the frustration, it always comes from the people. It's never been the art. The art never is. That's the unfortunate part. Is that it comes from the people. I
got you. Yeah. Let me ask you this, and then we gotta go. We're gonna take a break in a quick second. What made you want to recreate because it wasn't just the David and Bathsheba. Well, yeah, it was like I said, you parted the David and Bathsheba story. You made like the actual story and then like a prequel to that story. What made you pick that story specifically to recreate?
So when I was 9, that was the first a play about David was the first play I wrote. Okay. So our church was doing, if anybody went to, Southern Baptist churches, you had Sunday school. So you had them Sunday school books. So the Interscholastic, I can't think of the company, but the company that made those books, that produced those books, they also produced BTU, Vacation Bible School books, all of those. And they also they had hymn books, and they had books of plays that the churches could do. So we were doing plays out of the church. And at 9 years old, I was like, one day we getting ready to do our church play, practicing, and I'm sitting there with attitude. My uncle's like, he was the pastor. He's like, what's your,
what's the problem?
Beat your, what's wrong with you? And I was like, the plays suck, basically, these terrible plays. I was like, well, you think you grown, you write your own. So I went home and I wrote, presented it, boom. Next thing you know,
that's the one
I'm writing the plays for the church, the next 3 years. But it was it's about David. Yeah. So I had a fascination of reading about his life and who he was in the Bible. And so when I get ready to do this play, I'm trying to, I'm thinking about this story. And I said, I want to write a play talking about a situation similar to David and Bathsheba, because I rarely hear preachers preach about that. Because, David is here, but we talking about his imperfection. We talk about something that he do. And I could always identify with that because I'm like, I'm not a perfect man. Absolutely. And I would rather talk to you about the things that I have failed and done and survived and gone through than talk about all the good that you think I did. I don't want... I've always been afraid of people putting me on a pedestal. I wasn't just like, no, that's a nigga. He can cuss you out. He's just absolutely. And if I do something that that you see good in, then that means more to me than you thinking I'm perfect.
Yeah.
So I wanted to tell David's imperfect story. But of course I didn't want to do it like the Bible, because it's like that's old, and I wanted to make it modern. So I actually wrote that play when I was sick.
Okay.
At that time, my doctor was giving me 20% chance to live. I didn't have nothing else to do. I was bedridden. I couldn't do nothing. So I started writing, and I wrote that play. And Mo came to see me. Okay. And I handed him the script, and I was like, if something happened to me, I want y'all to do this play, because I think this is the best script that I've ever written. And he didn't even read it. He just gave it back to me. He was like, I don't even know if he remembered that. He gave it back to me. He's like, nah. Because you're going to do this play. Right. You're going to live to do this play. Yeah. And so that was the first play we did once I came out of remission. But it was that. I never meant for it to have a prequel or a sequel or nothing. But after we did it and performed it so many times, people were saying, oh man, you need to do another part. You need to do a part 2, blah, blah, blah. And because I never envisioned doing a part 2. It didn't register me. That ain't the way I write, so I just couldn't do it just because people were saying it. But after so many years of people kept saying it, I thought about it, and I was like, okay, so what happened to David after that situation? Bathsheba lost the baby, then they had another baby, and that was Solomon, and then Solomon's story took over. I was like, that ain't the story. Right. Oh, let's go back in time. Yeah. And let's say how David got here.
Yeah. How did he become
King David?
King David. Yeah.
So let's talk about so we go back to tell his backstory, and that allowed me to be a little bit more creative. And I brought Saul in the picture, or I brought Jonathan in the picture. So it was like we still was able to tell a bigger story. And so we did Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come, yeah. And then there was a third one that was in the middle. But we never did it on stage.
Why not?
Because it's called King's Love.
Okay.
Right before I got ready to do cast for it, I decided that that's the third part that ties all of them together. You know what? I don't want to do it as a play. Okay. I want to do it as a TV series.
Yeah, that easily could have been a series. Easily.
And I wanted to start over and do all of it as a series. And just as of now, just haven't had the funding, because I don't want to just do something and rush it. And I said, once I get the right type of funding, that's gonna be the first series that I drop.
Okay, that's what's up, man. No, listen. Okay. Have you ever considered like bringing those other two back just to, or are you like pretty much done with them?
So right now, you talking about Forbidden Love?
Forbidden Love and Kingdom Come.
No, so that side, it's gonna start with Forbidden Love.
Okay.
So that would be the retelling.
That's not coming back to the stage. That's we want that on.
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying. And those can easily be a series.
Yeah.
Man. Easily.
I tell people when I have the talks about it, I tell people that entire story, for me to be able to do it as a web series or a TV series, it would give you the mindset. It would put you in the mindset of the whole Power universe.
Exactly.
It would be its own universe, because there's so many storylines that in sequels that it could break off into.
It could definitely be that. You know, like Jesus Christ. It could definitely be that, man. Well, listen, we're gonna talk about that some more. We're gonna take a real short pause for the calls. Lupa, what you got?
We'll be right back.
All right, we DFW Shed Sessions. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We got the legendary Foard in the building. Don't bust that nut just yet. We'll be right back.
Living in a daydream. Pray that you can kiss me. This is where we should be. This is our eternity. Never say never, ever. Take the limits off. We're in this together. We can have it all. Moon in the sky.
Here we go, y'all. Say. There we go, say, hey, say, girl, I know you felt it. Ooh, you know I can't help it. You know what I wanna do. So baby, we're crying. See, I'm a photographer. Feel what I'm saying? So if they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, it's my job to make sure they hear every last one of them. I got you.
All right, we're back. We had to take a quick pause for the pause. DFW Shed Sessions Podcast.
Right.
Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, DFW Shed Sessions, and you guys can follow us on social media. Our Facebook page is the DFW Shed Sessions FB page. You can follow us on TikTok and Instagram under DFW_Shed Sessions. So let's get to these social media plugs. Professor Melville, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on all social media platforms under Professor Melville. Facebook, my government name is Melody Williams, but Professor Melville, that is the Professor Melville.
Okay, well, there we go, right to the point.
Short and sweet.
My good brother J Ell Groove,
Yes,
where can we find you on social media?
Man, you can find me everywhere. Facebook, J Ell Groove. Instagram, who is J Ell Groove. If you want to ride this funk train, go ahead and get at me. Facebook and Instagram, Funk Your Feelings. That's FUNKYO Feelings. You can find our upcoming shows, everything we got coming up. If you want to dabble in one of my many projects, we have another Groove project. That's photography, videography, marketing. We also got merch, people. So go ahead and dabble in some of this merch. Shirts, hats, shot glasses, lighters. We doing it all, baby. So, yeah, my clothing line is called Fifth Level. So, definitely dabble in some of that. And, yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, that sounds awesome.
What about
Lou, how can we find you?
Yeah, well, you can find me on social media, TikTok, Lou Paul Beats. You can find me on Instagram under Lou Paul Beats, and YouTube as well under Lou Paul Beats. And I do have music out and available. I have some nice, cool, chill hip-hop instrumental music you can find on all streaming platforms.
Dope stuff.
You just
Dope
put
stuff.
in Lou Paul Beats, and you can find my music. Also, I want to mention that if anybody would like to make contributions or donate to DFW Shed Sessions, you could go to our Zelle under dfwshedsessions@gmail.com.
Turn to your neighbor and say that ain't much.
Yeah, ain't much at all.
That ain't much. Go ahead and contribute to the cause. If y'all like this good content that we putting out, and we've had some beast on to sit down and chop it up with us, man. So if y'all want us to continue to do that at a high level, we definitely need your help and support. So yeah, go ahead and hit up that Zelle.
Yeah, most definitely. So my good brother Foard, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at TYFOARD on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and somewhere on that X, but I'm rarely on it. But yeah, I'm on there.
X
But
is
it's the
filthy.
same. And then I have a website where you can find whatever else we're doing. It's www.mybadbrand.com.
So let's
The bad guy.
I wanted to talk about that. So what is because when I was checking out your page and you actually have an app.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what is the website or the app, or what is it?
The Bad Brand.
Mm-hmm.
So so initially it was Poetic Wine.
Yeah.
But Poetic Wine was so attached to the poetry
Mm-hmm.
that I needed something that was gonna kind of be the umbrella, the big umbrella. And so I came up with the Bad Brand, my Bad Brand.
Okay.
And so that covers everything. So you come to see the plays, the movies, poetry. We dabble in a little fashion.
Oh, okay.
The cooking, the mixology. So pretty much anything that I dabble in is
It's all
under the
there.
Bad Brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
That's what's up.
So the goal is eventually, it's already in the process. So I do movie reviews. You'll be able to go on there to see the movie reviews. We've already loaded some of our short films that we've produced. I'm kind of in the works of trying to create my own Tubi,
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
like
Ain't no
my
wrong with
own Netflix. I don't want to. I'm not putting anything on Tubi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in other people's projects that's on Tubi, but I'm like, why give them
I will support.
my stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
I
have
want
your own
to,
distribution.
right.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to have, again, go back to the creating opportunity and space for other people. You don't have to sell your stuff. You can come on here. We work out a deal. People come here, stream, whether it's podcasts, whether it's short films, whether it's features, whether it's whatever, any type of content. Because I want it to be enough content to where somebody comes and they just get lost in it. I came to see this, but y'all, you got this, you got live shows, you got, and it's all about revenue sharing with everybody that's a part of that. Any creators that's contributing their work, then you get a piece of whatever is made from that. So it's not a
Yeah.
most of the stuff on Tubi, once they put it on there, they don't own it no more.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's
Absolutely.
why I'm never, I'm not giving you my stuff for
Yeah.
you to own.
Right.
First you give me a penny for it, and then you own it like that.
That don't make
that
sense.
math
Yeah.
don't.
That ain't
Yeah.
math.
8-year-old Todd wouldn't even make that deal with you. So 48-year-old Todd, damn sure not gonna make that deal.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
And you're not new to the radio podcast
Right.
scene at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I remember a while back you were what's the place? It's off of Ledbetter.
Yeah.
What was that spot you was
35.
at?
Yeah. So we had Iron Royalty Radio. So we had
Iron Royalty, yeah.
Yeah. We ran a whole internet radio station, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So that gave me the platform on the website to be able to stream.
Okay.
So the only reason why I shut it down was during COVID. So just
Got you.
it didn't make sense to keep going because most of my clients were small business. They were shut down, so they couldn't advertise, like they wanted to. And then the shows they had guests really couldn't do that, and they was just getting the video stuff up, like Zoom and all that stuff. So it wasn't, I just felt like that's another thing people saying when you bringing it back. We're not gonna bring it back in the same format. It's gonna be more of the podcast type of thing. So.
And you're so I was looking. Are you a regular on a podcast, or you have your own podcast?
So I have my own, and that's just kind of slowly bringing those back instead of just jumping right in.
Right.
Again, I can't do the same thing I was doing before.
Right.
Just my mentality.
Yeah.
If I bring it back, it's got to be bigger than what it was. But yeah, I'm part of. I'm a reoccurring guest on one of my homeboys' show, QTNA.
Okay.
He does a podcast on Wednesday nights.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, you mentioned that you when you was doing the radio show, whatever, you had like the sponsors and stuff like that. So as a up and coming podcast who's you know, making a little bit of noise out here, like what's some like tricks of the trade that you have as far as getting sponsors?
So back then we were, you know, and everybody was doing internet radio. It was more audio, less video, you know. We kind of captured an audience because we would go live. We would turn our cameras on. Back then, 2010, it was like, why do people want to watch us sit around and talk or stand there, you know, depending on the studio, and stand around and talk? We just talking.
Yeah.
I can get you want to hear us, but they want to see us. So even podcasts, you know, back then, most of it was audio. You're just listening to it. But then it got to the point, you know, where people would sit there and watch you. You know, they started doing Dish Nation stuff.
Yeah.
The Breakfast Club got big.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was like, but when it was in the audio form, the problem with shows was you probably did your show once a week for an hour. So you go to someone potentially to sponsor your show, and it's like, okay, I do a radio show, can you sponsor, blah, blah, blah. Okay, how many people you reach? That's the classic number. But if you're only on one night a week, how many people are you really reaching? So if I'm advertising, I'm only advertising for that block of time on that particular day. As a business person, it really doesn't work for me.
Okay.
And if it does, it's just because I'm really want to support you. I'm not really, unless you already got 1 million followers, then it makes sense. But if you're up and coming, it didn't make sense. So I understood why it was so hard, and people who had radio stations who were selling us the dream that, oh, get your show and get sponsors, blah, 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 that's how you make your money. They weren't telling you that part.
Right.
Say, well, the radio stations. So I started looking at, and I tell people all the time, so this part of the advice. Always look and see what the big people are doing. Anything you're doing, look and see what the people who are excelling at it. So a lot of times we be looking at each other. And see what Ty over there doing. Ty ain't doing shit that you need to copy right now. You need to be looking at the Breakfast Club. You need Joe Budden, Joe Rogan. What are they doing? How did they get there? And what are they doing to sustain it? So I was looking at, you know, we doing internet radio. I was looking at K104. I was looking at 97. I'm like, how's they make their money from advertising? Okay, advertisers only advertise them because they're running 24/7.
Gotcha.
How do we compete? I can't. Ty and the Sips can't compete with that. We can't do a show 24/7. So we put the radio station together. When I sell a package, I don't sell it as one show. I sell it as the entire network. We're on 24/7. I'm gonna advertise you on every show, not just one. So then how do you do the money? Well, I can command this much money in each show that's on my station. You get a portion of every time we get there. We get a deal. If you bring somebody in, you get an extra cut because you brought them in. But the station is gonna be seeking it because I need to make the money.
Right.
So it's a benefit you being on the station. It's a benefit for me having you on the station because now I can say I got 6 shows. Your product is gonna be, your service is gonna be advertised on all 6 shows. If I only got 2, I can only sell 2 shows.
Right.
Yeah.
So I need the shows, but the shows need me.
Right.
Because you ain't got to get out there and do the work.
I got you.
So in the podcast world, I'm like, it's a little bit harder. Can you put together a network of shows? Yeah. But then look at Joe Budden is trying. But nobody has successfully done it yet.
Yeah.
To that full extent. But it's the amount of content you putting out. If you're constantly putting out content, now that makes sense to your sponsors because it's the same thing.
I got you.
How regular are you in front of the camera? How regular are people seeing your product? Yeah, I jump on.
I got you.
How regular are you cross promoting with somebody else? Now that's how it can work too. Not only do you see my show, but you'll see me over here. Okay. And when I'm over here, I'm repping you.
I'll shut you out.
Yeah.
Right. That could be something as I got your hat on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm on this show, but I got your hat on. That's brand recognition. Eventually, somebody who watched this show who knows nothing about what's that gear you always wear?
Yeah.
Free plug. Now I get a chance to say, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is my dude. Y'all need to check
Yeah.
out his merch. Blah blah blah. He has a show.
Got you.
So when they see that, that helps build. But it has to be somewhat of a community type of thing. And this is the other thing. You bring guests on, charge their ass up. You don't charge them. You don't have to charge them. If you're going to be on the show, when I post this, when I publish this, you should be helping me promote it.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's a team.
Yeah.
It's a teamwork. I've seen people go on shows and done stuff for people and they don't even tell you. I've seen actors in plays, they don't even promote it. Bands going to play gigs and you don't even know where they at.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played 6 gigs yesterday. Word, nigga.
Yeah, I could have came out.
Yeah. Say, y'all need to pay me this. You ain't bringing no crowd.
Yeah.
You got all these people following you. Tell them where you playing. There's some people following you talking about, I know he in a band. I think he in a band.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, they got a video, but I don't know where it is. Look like he might be in his closet playing. I don't know. So it's sponsors. You can sell a sponsor on backing you the more active they see you.
Got you.
Okay.
It's like, what this nigga don't do?
Yeah.
He cook, he make drinks,
Yeah.
he a dancer, he do this, he do this. Yeah, whatever you doing, here, wear my shirt.
Yeah.
You know.
I got you.
So yeah, just put yourself out as much as you can. If you're doing content, try to put it out as much as you can. Even if it's just snippets. Stay in their mind.
Yeah.
The show releases on Friday, but that whole week I'm gonna give you small clips of it to
Yeah.
where people like, dang, I can't wait to Friday because I saw a little like, what was y'all talking about when y'all said that? Like, so that's the advice I would get. It's work.
Yeah.
It's work. Everybody don't want to do that
Most
work.
definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
Trust me, we got in this game, man. All this editing and shit that we gotta
Man,
do,
editing,
and
posting.
and trying to be consistent. And
Yeah.
on top of that, like it's the work, but it's consistent work.
Yeah.
is having to doing this, coming here week in, week out.
It's so
Shit,
easy to get sidetracked, boy.
Man.
Listen, and then you got 2 full-time musicians here.
Yeah.
You got somebody over there that has a 9 to 5, and like she comes out after work here to make sure everything good for us to come set up here. Like,
Right.
Again, like we see a vision for this. You know what I'm saying? We see a vision. We really think that this is going to become something. So yeah, but that's what's up though.
Speaking of vision,
That's one of the clubs we performed at.
Yeah,
Remember Visions?
I remember Visions. I remember Visions.
I want to spin the block a little bit.
Okay.
And I know you've progressed and evolved into all these different personalities of Ty Foard. I knew you first as a poet. I was introduced to you first when you were a poet. Even before, I know you said the playwriting was there before the poet.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you from that to afterwards. So when I first experienced you, it was Poetic Wine Cellar. And my heart breaks because I haven't been able to experience it, since then or whatever. And I know things have transpired. But it was so authentic and it was just real. You felt it, the words, the vibes, the scenery, what it stood for, everything was just very real, like you felt it. So recently, as of like last year, I would say around summer, I started going to this other spot called Brown Sugar Lounge.
Okay.
And it was cool, but when you've experienced something as authentic as, and I'm not saying that it wasn't, what it was, but when you've experienced, and you talk about me being younger.
Mm-hmm.
So, things have a lasting impression on a younger person when it's something of maturity, like, the wine cellar was.
Right.
So I'm older now. I've experienced wine cellar, and now I'm in this other venue or this other environment, and I'm like, I don't feel the nostalgia. I don't feel the authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right?
Authenticity.
Sure.
Authenticity.
I don't feel it. I don't. It doesn't grip my heart. The poems back then, I was fresh out of high school, but I felt like I was in love. I felt like I wanted to do some things.
Spit on me.
Yeah.
Right?
Spit on me.
That poem right there. But not just that poem, but just the environment.
Mm-hmm.
But then I go and I experience something, and not to take away from the Brown Sugar Lounge. And I don't know, maybe some of the poets that do it.
Yeah, I know.
But I thought about you. Some of those moments I would go there, and I'm like, dang, where's Ty at? Where's Ty?
Right.
Where's Ty? Ty, come in the building. But my question is, how do you feel about wine cellar being what it was, and then seeing others fall in the footsteps or whatever, like Brown Sugar Lounge or whatever? And it's not to dispel what they're doing or what they did, because I think it's not in existence anymore. But it wasn't a wine cellar.
Yeah.
How do you speak to that?
It ain't Ralph though. It ain't Ralph though.
Right. How do you speak to that? Like, knowing that you paved the way, but the ball wasn't really caught. I feel like. And I know that's controversial, because I know some of the people, I don't know them well, like best friends type of things, but but I can only speak my truth or my experience.
Right,
and it wasn't the wine cellar. Like, how do you speak to that? You set the bar high, real high.
Yeah. So I think just like with any genre of entertainment, we can look back at times of past and say, man, at this particular time, this music scene was popping, or the rap game was, compared to today.
Mm-hmm.
The movies that we made back then versus what's made now, TV.
Yeah.
For the time that I came up in the poetry field, it was fresh. A lot of the people who was being brought in to see it and witness it, it was refreshing to them because it wasn't something they were used to.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Love Jones came out and people went crazy.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, we blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we do this shit all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But back then it was behind, I remember they had this place in Oak Cliff. I can't even think of Pan Am Connection. Mm-hmm. It was a bookstore. We would do poetry shows after they closed. So they would close up. Mm-hmm. And this is like in the Oak Cliff area, kind of where I want to say like 8th and all of that, So it's dark. Yeah. Everything closed. So you come over there and you knock on the door. They open up the door. You walk through the business, and you go to a back room. And it's a small back room, probably the size of this living room. And people sitting on bean bags, people sitting on the floor. You got a couple of stools, blah, blah, blah. And we just doing poetry. So it goes from there to all of a sudden you walk into a nightclub and a radio station is hosting poetry. So now people are being introduced to it and they falling in love with it. Now you got poets who This is their first time getting this type of exposure, because up until now, they're doing it for the love of it.
Yeah.
As it grows, some of us lose that, oh, I'm just doing it for love. I'm doing it because I got this pop.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for the pop. Oh, I see this person has this kind of pop, so I'm trying to get that pop.
Yeah.
Then it started talking about money. Now I got to get paid to do what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. So it reaches a level where it's being recognized. But I had to I eventually got into it with a poet who was doing shows, promoting shows, putting on his own shows. And he was like trying to figure out like the clubs, because we started out in the houses.
Right.
We started out in clubhouses, things that I could rent out and run everything myself. Yeah. We got recruited by the clubs. They would come to they knew what the hell we were doing. Like, that's what we were saying when we was like, we didn't have social media, but somehow word was getting back to the club that this dude is doing a show in Lake Ridge and in DeSoto, and not in small houses. We were in big ass houses, 2-story house. We gutting them bitches out and filling it up with people. The neighborhood is packed with cars. We in Lake Ridge. Anybody know about Lake Ridge? Them giant homes. And we got food, we got drinks, we got a whole show. You walk in, I remember people would call and be like, hey, I'm here, but it looked like it's a house.
Yeah.
Like, and they knock on the door. They opened up, come in, they was like, I walked in, it's a whole fucking club. Like, y'all just had it, And so we created a vibe where people wanted that, but the people that was performing, they were newbies. They were, they were fresh to this entertainment thing, not the craft, because the musicians, they knew what they were doing. They just hadn't played in front of groups like this. Poets hadn't performed in front of people like this. So that was like the peak. But the issue was when we go to the clubs, we had the clubs recruiting us there, but it was a money grab for them.
Right.
They was like, on a Saturday night, if you got 150 people in a house, I need them 150 people at my club.
Yeah, so they can buy the drinks and, and do all that.
So that probably was one of the biggest mistakes, if I go back and, was taking what we were doing and allowing the clubs to buy us in, because now we lost revenue on, because we was managing our drinks, our food. We didn't have to worry about people worried about parking and all that stuff. We worked that out with the neighborhoods. But it was at its peak. The clubs wasn't gonna pay you for that, because what a lot of poets didn't master was entertaining a crowd of people who was not there to see poetry.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. That's one of the things that I could say I always stood, that made me stand out, was that I could go anywhere and perform poetry. Because I figured out it's more about getting the crowd to engage with you.
Yeah.
Same thing I used to tell the bands. If y'all can get the crowd with you, you own them. You can do whatever the hell you want to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can't do a show and say, oh, all we playing is original music. They sitting there like, we don't know this shit.
Right.
But if you got them engaged with them, you can.
Yeah.
Y'all like that? We just covered or whatever. We got this new song that we have to hit. Y'all tell us how it is. Boom, boom, boom. They already with you.
Yeah.
But if they don't know, you don't get up there and do covers. I mean, you don't do. I had somebody, one of the guys. Oh, we don't do covers. You'll never play for nobody. You'll never play for nobody. Right. This is a song I wrote yesterday. Boo! Like, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, play Frankie Beverly.
Right.
It's so with poetry, it was the same way. You had to figure out a way to get them engaged, whether that's me walking in the audience, making them listen to me.
Yeah.
So it reached a peak, but it never broke through to a level where musicians had, that comics had, that singers had, that they could go somewhere and command a pay rate and command people to see. People they come to clubs to see the band. They come to, places to see the singer. They go to comedy shows. Not too many people was doing that for poetry.
Right.
We was tapping into that. I still feel like we didn't go all the way where it was a national thing, but we had our own stage, so we could do that. The poetry today, what I see is they're still trying to be where we were.
They behind the ball.
And even if they want to say that they are, and I'm not here to say that they're not, but if they want to say that they are, that is so 2010.
Yeah. Talk about it.
So
Talk about it.
Where is the
if
evolution?
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm doing something that was done in 2010 and 2024, and I'm not seeing the residual success that I saw that they were doing in 2010, it's because you're still lost in time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it has to evolve.
Wow.
So wherever we left it, the new generation needed to figure out a way to tap into it. In music, they did that. Whether or not we think the mumble rap
That
and
is
all of that and the
so
trap music is
true.
these young cats, Soulja Boy started it, where they started making money on their own.
Yeah.
In their own
YouTube,
way.
they made it in their
Yeah.
own way. And so it was like, no, they didn't. So I see it and I'm like, I'm not impressed. I'm not hating on it, but I'm not impressed because I'm like, y'all not doing nothing that we didn't already do. If anything, it looks like y'all mimicking what we did back then,
Right.
which
Without
I don't
the
even want to see
substance.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to, which a question y'all probably have for me, when am I bringing the wine cellar?
When are you
When are we
bringing
doing the wine cellar?
the wine cellar back?
At this point, I can't say that I will do one because I don't have a desire to do it. It's the same thing with the podcast and the shows. If I do it, it has to be, it can't look like 2010.
Yeah.
It has to be as excited as some people get when they say, oh, bring the wine cellar back.
Wine cellar.
I need them to see the new wine cellar and be like, oh my God,
We done went
what
higher.
the hell? It has to me, it has it's just like Beyonce can never go back to Destiny Child.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
She can never go to Destiny Child.
You can do a reunion tour every
now-
10
yeah.
years. But other than
10
that,
years.
Yeah.
other than that, yeah.
Mike never could go back to the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Even when they did, the Jacksons did a portion of the concert.
Yeah.
Mike still had his own solo
He still had
part.
to do his own song, yeah.
So so that's what I would say to that.
Yeah.
If you're around my age and you still doing that, again, I challenge you, and I don't care if you take it personal, because it's not personal. It's the
Right.
art. At some point, where did you evolve? You can't be still doing the same thing we were doing back then. So that would be my challenge to them: is if you're struggling with it, why are you doing it?
Wow.
You're doing it trying to recreate something that already was created. Create something different. Things come and go.
Yeah.
Even Poetry Slam, at one point, it started elevating. Now it's dead. People that's still doing it, they're struggling. It's like they're holding on to something that's gone. Nobody's riding around with horse-driven carriages.
Right.
And to me, that's what I see. So you can excite a few new people, but the people who got the money, the people who would spend mad bread on this, you got to impress them.
I was about to say that's something that I have recently seen in the poetry spots is you're charging people to get in here, and God help if it's the people who've been going to older, events or whatever. But it's like, why am I going to pay now? I'm paying $30, $40 to get in the door, and I haven't even bought a drink yet. Only to experience something that when I leave, I'm like, dang, I really could have stayed at the house and watched Suits.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you got to listen to your crowd.
Yeah.
When we first started doing the wine cellar, we were charging $3. When you came to the wine cellar, you could watch the show. We had food, we had drinks.
Yeah, I did.
None of that was, you didn't have to pay for none of that. We went up to $5. You know why? Because people started coming saying, man, y'all only charging $3.
Yeah.
The people who was paying the $3 was saying, it's only $3. So we was like, okay, next time we're gonna charge $5.
Move this up.
And that was still a.
Then we started charging $5. They was like, people who are coming to your show is walking up and saying, bro, you need to be charging more than this.
Right.
This show is more than $5. So when I remember first time we charged $15 for the wine cellar. Now when we started doing it weekly, we went back because I'm not hitting you, but at that time we was doing one show a month, twice a month. So to me, those were considered big shows. When we was doing it weekly, that was reoccurring. I ain't got to hit you upside the head like that. Plus, I got to deal with the club, so I just need people there. When we first charged $15, I had a poet hit me up. He was doing shows. You messing it up for all of us charging $15, $20.
Okay.
No, I'm not messing it up for you. Yeah. We can charge this. What makes you able to charge it? The people are willing to pay it.
Yeah. Right.
See this crowd full right here?
Right.
That's what made me
recurring.
Right. Yeah. And we listen to them, they're willing to pay it. So we can charge it. And again, what's different from an open mic is that I'm guaranteeing the talent that you're paying for.
Right.
If somebody said, oh, we having a concert at Jerry World. How much the ticket? $900. Who gonna be there? I don't know. We just gonna let whoever come to the mic.
Yeah.
You ain't paying that
shit. Ain't nobody finna pay no $900 for the open mic.
But if they say, oh, we got Beyonce there, we're gonna charge $1,200. I'm down. You know, it's just so you as an artist that is tampering into the business side of it, you got to understand business. A lot of my peers, whether it was poetry, whether it was the plays, whether it was the musicians, didn't understand business, and today a lot of them still don't.
Let's that's a good segue into my next question or the next topic or whatever. Because you had a grasp and you still have a grasp on the business side of the entertainment thing, and that allowed you to have positions like general managers in some venues and stuff like that. I know one of the venues that you worked at was Ella B's. I've actually played there a couple times myself. I think Lou, you played at Ella B's.
Yes, I have. I have partaken in Ella B's at some time point.
So what, you know what I'm
there
saying?
was a time. No,
and we know a lot of the homies been at Ella B's or whatever. So how was your like experience like working in the general manager side of, as opposed to being in front of the microphone, being behind the scenes, being a part of the machine, making it work?
So it benefited me that as far as my history, because when bands, so we had the owners who were saying, hey, this is what we want to do. So just from DJing, and I never went around and said, oh, I'm DJ. This. I just knew how to DJ.
Right.
And then by having the radio station, that allowed me to do more. Right. And when we would do remotes, people were like, oh, if I hire you to come do this? Yeah. So I was brought in first at the restaurant to help with the entertainment side. So it was like, okay, well, you can be the house DJ. Okay, I'll help.
Yeah.
And then I'll help. And then eventually I'll transition to find you someone who can take this role full time, because I don't do that full time.
Yeah.
And then help with the bands, that you want to bring, the talent that you want to bring in. One, because I'm going to evaluate, make sure we have good talent, not just anybody coming in here. Right. I think that just gave me an opportunity where it reminded me how much I did know of the people. Because it was like, oh, we got this band. Okay, who is it? And then they come in, like, oh, I know these niggas.
Yeah.
Oh, I know them.
Yeah.
Or they'll come in, they be like, oh, Top Foard, what's up? And the owner's like, you know them? You know them?
That's what happened with us. When I probably hadn't seen you in like a solid 5, 6, 7 years maybe. I hadn't seen you, and then I got a gig at Ella B's, and I'm like, oh shit, what's good?
Yeah. So it was like shocking to them about how many people, and it was like, for every 10 bands, at least 9 of them
Yeah, absolutely.
That was either somebody in that band who knew me, that had worked with me, not just know me, but had worked with me to some capacity. So it helped when there arose issues because they felt like they could come to me and be like, hey, bro, this ain't, or blah, blah, blah. And what I tried to do was also be that middle person to say, hey, we got to make sure we take care of these guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want them to come in and perform, do this, but we also got to take care of. And then it was certain names and bands that were well established, and it was like, hey, we want to get them. And I'm like, hey, you get them, you better come with it, because they don't bullshit. They not, you don't play with them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know them.
Yeah.
Don't fuck up my reputation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't abuse my relationship with them, because they're gonna come in, and it was so many that came in and said, "Man, when I saw it was you here, then I was, I felt good about the situation."
People don't understand, man. Your resources are your currency. Your resources are your bargaining chip.
Yeah.
Your resource is like, I mean, the fact that like that's one of my idols is Clarence Avant, and his whole career was just built off of his resources.
Yeah.
One of the coldest lines I ever heard, he said, "I don't have problems, I have friends."
Yeah.
I have politics. Okay, bet I got somebody for that.
Yeah.
Music. Okay, bet I got somebody for that. Movies. Okay, bet I got somebody for that. And then it's like, and because his name held so much weight, you know what I'm saying? It's like if he said it, shit moved.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And like that's like, so to understand that, and that's something that the people need to learn too, is like, when you can't always call the homie. You can't always call the homie. You can't always call, you know what I'm saying, your cousin and stuff like that, because it's not just them. Your name is attached to that.
Exactly.
Too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your name is attached to that.
Man.
Your name is your, you know what I'm saying, because they gonna come and they gonna fuck up. And then, the business is going to be like, all right, well, yeah, appreciate it, whatever. But then all eyes are going to turn on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? After they leave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's definitely something important.
Yeah. It was, and sometimes that's where the little, like you said, negotiations, the little deals, because I'm playing both sides.
Right.
I'm like, hey, bro, can you do this for me? This is all the budget that we got for this project. But in return, on the next go round, I'll make sure they know this was your deal.
Right.
That ain't what you go for.
Right.
So if you want them back, this is the price.
Right.
They did this as a favor. Now y'all already know what they can do. Now y'all see what they can do. Y'all see they worth what they asked for. Let's give them what the fuck they asked for.
Yeah.
If they're not willing to do that, then I come to you on GP and say, bro, don't do it no more.
Yeah.
I appreciate you doing it the first time. They not willing to give you what I feel like you were, and I know you were. Don't do it.
Now that's on one side. On the other side, as general manager, what did you see on the day in, day out, as far as talent, hiring talent? What did you see that's like, nah, bro, I'm never calling y'all back again?
There was, I mean, just like with everything, there's some people who I feel like I can tell when a band doesn't practice.
Yeah.
And then then I also saw some very talented people who was riding a wave of thinking they were more than what they were.
Yeah, I played for a couple of those people before.
Yeah. And so you just show up late. You don't practice.
Yeah.
You get up there, do what you want to do. You get up there drunk.
Yeah.
You high. You're not professional. And so to me that says even more than what your talent is.
And then that's an older crowd too.
Right.
So
and not understanding understanding your crowd.
Yeah.
Not understanding your crowd. So you get in there and you playing
doing
whatever.
Yeah, they don't want to see all that.
Man, they just ain't feeling me. No, they ain't feeling what you're doing. Like you're an idiot.
Right.
You're not feeling yourself. So you need to go broke.
Right.
You need to go to some places where they're not gonna pay you on time or miss some payments because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
If you don't appreciate it.
You don't, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, come in, figure out Before you take the gig, ask what kind of crowd is this?
Right.
What's the style of music
Do some
y'all
recon.
looking for?
Go there. Yeah.
And even some of the, I even appreciate the ones who come in and they start asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of people I after a couple of times, it took me a couple of times, I was like, why do they always ask that? Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Where my 70 babies at? Woo. Where my 80s babies at?
Yeah.
Woo. We got any 90s baby? Woo. Please tell me we don't have no 2000 baby. Okay, we got some of these in here. Okay.
They scoping the crowd.
They scoping the crowd.
Yeah.
Because if you got all 2,000 babies and you playing Marvin Gaye, they ain't, unless you playing Let's Get It On, they don't know what the hell you playing.
Right.
If you got an old school crowd, then you trying to play,
Yeah.
2 Chains.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is that? You up there, Glorilla, like,
Yeah.
playing that.
Yeah.
Crubing on Crubing.
What
Got
is
you.
this?
Yeah.
So, kind of the same thing, man.
Yeah.
Just you see some people who serious about what they doing, and some people not.
Mm-hmm.
People showing up late, people not professional.
Yeah.
One thing that I saw too, because now I'm part of promotions.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, we gotta step our marketing game up.
Yeah.
Not just the venue, but the individuals.
Yeah.
I do websites and I do flyers for people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flyers out there that I actually
You
did.
did,
People don't even know.
Yeah.
That I'm doing for flyers for people. People don't even like me.
Yeah.
I'm doing flyers for their club. They don't
Right.
even fuck them.
I feel that.
But I get somebody send me a job like, hey, can you make a flyer for this? And then I'm like, okay, so well, send me who's performing. They send me the pictures. I'm like,
really?
I can't do this
Yeah.
damn selfie. Like,
Right.
well, that's all we got. Okay, so you put it on there. It lowers the
Cheapens it. Yeah.
yeah the way the flyer
I appreciate you
looks.
saying that.
And so I say, hey, somewhere in your budget, y'all need to take
Photographers and
Headshots.
stuff.
We need
Yeah.
take some
Photographer.
headshots, take some do all of
Yeah.
that because that's gonna
Go
make
find
a big difference.
Go
I
find
go
your
to
senior
people's
prom
page.
picture or
Right.
something.
Something.
Done took the picture that's been recycled from MySpace and gave it
Right.
to you.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
crazy.
like, man, it's too many.
Right.
Like, nah.
It's too many people that sing, especially singers. Like to me that's just like a model. Not having I have models come to me for work, and then I go to their page. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to your Instagram, and it's blocked. It's private.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah.
You supposed to be public.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, that's what I saw. One of the biggest things. It was like, damn, we not prepared as entertainers. You got to have some quality shots. You got to
Absolutely.
have, you just got to have your stuff together. Your contact information. How do we reach you? Who's in charge of this? Do you have a set playlist? Or what is your style?
Yeah.
What is your genre? How do you describe your band? Like all of that, I got a chance to see how I knew there was issues.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that deep. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. Yeah.
Right.
So, and I got to see some cutthroats.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, why y'all get paid this? Well, because this one band decided that they was cool with this, and now these owners, cheap ass owners, feel like everybody gonna get this
Yeah.
just because y'all sold yourself cheap.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between you trying to build up your worth versus you just taking pennies.
Yeah.
Just because you trying to underbid somebody else to
Yeah.
get the gig.
Yep.
So now you got the gig, and now everybody else,
It's
if they want it,
falling
they
back
gotta
down.
You don't
sink
fuck it
low.
up for everybody
Right.
else. Yeah.
Right.
That's wild, man. Man, Top 4, we've been having a dope conversation, man. I wanna pivot real quick because
Okay.
and then we're gonna get into our segments, man. You had a battle with cancer
Yeah.
that he said, yeah, that you beat, man. What did that? First of all, I think it's super dope that you still here. You came out of it, but I do, but because I know you personally, I do know that was a tough ride. That was a tough ride for a while, man.
Yeah.
What would you say is a couple things that like just kind of got you through that, and what did that do to you mentally?
The 3-year-old girl that's turning 16 now, this year, next month, she got me through it because at the point where I had given up, she came in one day, I'm laying in the bed, she came, touched my hand, she said, I want you to get better so we can play again. And that's when I realized that I wasn't just living for me.
That's deep.
You know, our lives are, God gave us these lives to live. But while we're here, it affects other people.
Yeah.
And I had gotten into a place where I felt like, well, this was it, and I'll be gone, and so everybody else can move on. They don't have to, you know, suffer, or watch me suffer, or be sad for me. But then understanding that, no, what I do and who I am affects other people. Absolutely. So I can't be selfish and just say, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
If this is God's will.
Yeah.
No.
Fight.
I can go back and tell God, look, I don't know what your will is, but I have a will too, and I want to be here to continue to do what I am doing for the few people that I am doing it for.
Yeah.
Then just me being stubborn. So the way I am in business, once I decided I'm gonna fight, I was fighting. I told the dog, I went in there, I was running the doctors telling them, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing it. You need to explain that to me.
Yeah.
Why are you not taking this medicine? Because it's not working.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
And so we started finding out other things that was wrong because I spoke up. My doctor even today says, she's like, you was the most stubborn patient I ever had, but you wouldn't have been alive if you wasn't stubborn. You talked back. You told us what was wrong. You said no. A lot of patients don't do that.
Yeah.
They just take whatever they give you. If you've been taking blood pressure medicine for 30 years and you still got high blood pressure, what did they tell you?
It might not be. It might not be working. Right.
It ain't working.
Right.
So figure it out. Something else is wrong, or the medicine ain't working.
Yeah.
So that, and then laughter. Laughter. Like that shit healed the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That show.
Yeah.
I came back. I remember I walked on stage. I barely could get on stage.
Yeah.
I was up there and I started telling people all the shit I was dealing with. And they was sitting out there laughing and scared at the same time.
Yeah.
And so many people like, I didn't know whether I was supposed to cry or laugh, but you was just
As a matter of fact, that show, I think that show was actually your first show.
Yeah. I think that's what she was talking
that's
about.
what I was telling you.
That show was your first show, and
I wore green and black and white.
Because I remember first of all, so he had like this lapel on, and the way he came on stage, he was like walking up these stairs.
Yeah.
And he's doing a poem as he's walking up the stairs, but you could just see after step 3, Buddy was winded.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Buddy, and then I hadn't seen him. It had been a little bit since I had seen him then too. And then, you know, he gets on and he's about the size of this mic, this mic stand right here, man. And he got through the show. And that's how, you know, I wasn't performing, I was in the crowd, but it's like that's how it was. It was like a I bet.
Are we supposed to be laughing?
Cause he making jokes about himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, man. But I think that that's dope. I definitely think that's a testimony, man. Just to fight. You know, what you got, man?
I kind of got emotional just now, only because my mind went back, and you could tell me we don't want to talk about it, but one day I woke up and I'm scrolling Facebook. You already know where I'm going,
what you're
right?
talking
Okay. I'm scrolling Facebook, and I follow you.
Yeah.
But when you have an interaction with somebody like you don't have to talk to them every day. You don't have to be friends with them for them to, you know, be some type of impact on your life. So I'm scrolling Facebook and all I keep seeing is, Ty, where are you? Ty, where are you? Anybody talk to Ty? You remember that? Yeah. Anybody talk to Ty?
Yeah. I hit him up. I was in his inbox. Yeah.
No, like, I kept saying, what's going on? Because at this point,
Nigga done ran away from home.
at this point, I'm like, what is he getting ready to do? Where is he at? And I don't know these people, but people, I figure, that they will talk to you maybe every day or whatever. They're even saying like, Ty, if you see these posts, we love you, we miss you, where are you? And I was just so happy when somebody said, hey,
yeah, he good. Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
Found him. He's good. And then when you finally came and said something, can you please, because I've always wondered from the outside looking in, what happened?
So since the cancer, I was diagnosed with clinical depression.
Okay.
So that was a diagnosis. When I talk about depression today, I tell you that I don't have it. I deal with it.
Okay.
And when I say deal, I want to compare it to the weather.
Okay.
When it storms, what can you do about it?
You just deal with it. Yeah.
You just deal with it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have a stronghold over me. So all of my religious people like, oh, God, it's not about that.
The devil, yeah.
It still storms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't stop the storms. You still deal with trials and tribulations. It's how do you get through it? So there was a period of time where I had to figure out that part. When I had a doctor tell me, because so many different doctors tell you this, but when you have a doctor, when I feel real is real, then I can gravitate to real. When I have a doctor say, there's nothing I can do or give you or say to you that's gonna cause this to go away. It could go away for 20 years. In year 21, you have a battle with it. Doesn't mean you went backwards.
Yeah.
Just mean it came into your presence at that moment. What I need to get you to the point where you know how to beat this.
Right.
And it doesn't overcome you. So early in the process of the cancer, I would say I probably was suicidal.
Okay.
They told me I was dying anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So at some point, I thought about it. Like,
Might as well
why am I
go on my own time?
Yeah, why am I going to, especially when you go through a period of suffering. See, I tell people there's a difference from being in pain and hurting and suffering.
Yeah.
And I was going through a period of time where I was suffering.
Yeah. Suffering.
And so it was like, why go through this?
Yeah.
Just end the shit. So fast forward, we're done with the cancer. One thing that people don't understand who's never faced anything like that, it does damage to you, it does damage to your body, it does damage to your mental. So yeah, I'm in remission. It's going 13 years now.
Yeah.
There's still physical things that
The symptoms
did to me.
Still,
There's still mental things that it did to. Once I started fighting, I was also getting counseling as well. And I started coming back. Like you said, I was up, when I first got the cancer, I was 175 pounds. The day y'all saw me come to that show, I was down to 129 pounds.
Really? Yeah, your suit jacket was big and everything,
So, first time in my life I ever sagged. I didn't believe in sagging, and I was forced to sag.
He said I was forced to sag.
Dang.
So
it's rough in these streets.
Man, that's when I understood, when I fought back from cancer and saw that it was a combination of the treatments and how, but it also was my will to fight it and say, you can't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Unless I give in to you.
Yeah.
So it's the same way with depression. You can't, you come.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. So I'm never gonna be in danger of hurting myself. That's the last thing. That's the last thing I ever do.
Yeah.
My mind goes to places, and I don't want to be around people.
I feel that. Absolutely.
Because people can hurt me more than I can hurt myself.
Wow.
So at that time, my birthday had just passed. I had been engaged. We had broke off the engagement.
Oh, it wasn't Tony Braxton?
No. Tony's still there. A week before, week before or week after? Week after, it was 22nd. I was leaving the restaurant. And I was robbed at gunpoint.
No way.
Wow.
So I never really shared that
I didn't know
publicly. Everybody that worked there knew, including the owners. So we talked about it. You know, they took the little money that I had. Luckily, that's all, you know, they took it. Now, I'm dealing with losing. And to know me, to know my entire life, I lost. I was losing people. I lost people from birth.
Yeah.
I was losing people. And so I take losing people hard. I'm a mean ass person. Because part of that is I'm serious about what I do. But the other part is I don't want pretenders around me.
Absolutely.
Because if I get attached to you and you leave me, no matter how many times I say I didn't give a fuck, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
But I can let you go because what I got attached to, who I thought I got attached to, you showed me you weren't that person.
Yeah, it wasn't really in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
So the ideal hurts me that I put that much value into this person or people. So here I am working at this place, and now I got to go here every day. I talked about getting security. They said, oh, we're not going to leave. We're not going to let nobody be there by themselves like this, just late at night no more, blah, blah, blah. 1 week later, I'm there by myself.
What?
So
That's crazy.
now every day I'm going back to this place because I'm putting it first because I got to be there.
Yeah.
If I'm not there, nobody else is there.
Yeah.
But every night I'm reliving this trauma. I'm looking over my back, and I'm not scared of nothing.
That's
But
PTSD.
at that moment, I was scared.
That's PTSD.
Yeah, every night I was scared.
Yeah.
Oh, could carry your piece. Okay, I got my piece.
That doesn't really relieve me.
That didn't make me feel better.
No.
I was driving around, gun right here on the side of my seat. I got I got honey knives. Honey knives right here. Still not safe.
Yeah.
Still don't feel safe.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving this one particular night, and it was just like, I'm getting ready to leave. They left me there again by myself. All of a sudden there's lights in front of, because everybody know the restaurant is glass, front door. There's lights shining in there. I turned the lights off, and then somebody turned on their headlights. I'm like, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
Luckily, the door is locked, and I peek. It's a black truck. Well, when I was robbed, I'm getting ready to come to a stop sign. It's a black truck in front of me. The black truck stops, and I'm like blowing my horn. I blow my horn like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Next thing I know, somebody tapping on the window with a gun. Let the
Wow.
window down. So the truck set me up. They run, get in the truck. So now I see this black truck in front of the restaurant.
And it's all back in your mind.
So now it's
Yeah.
coming back. So I stay where they, the beams, but you can't see me. But they know I'm there because they saw the lights were on. I just turned them off, so they know. And my car is the only car in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So long story short, it took a long time for them to leave. They left, came back. I ended up calling the Arlington police to come make sure I can leave. So now I'm dealing with this trauma every day.
Yeah.
I'm coming to this place. And I'm dealing with all the bullshit from the owners, from the workers. Everybody got like, what's wrong with you? Get in this, blah, blah, blah. Now, when the customers come in, I got to put on this. I got to put on this mask.
Yeah.
Wow.
But when I'm around my people, let me the fuck grieve. Let me the fuck do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't want to talk to y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm not going to affect business. When business come in, I'm the one getting the reviews.
Yeah.
People are coming here to see me.
Right.
Not one time am I frowning or being mean to a customer. But y'all fucked up in the head because y'all trying to figure out, well, when he come in, he don't talk to us and he just quiet and he stay to himself, or I turn the music on and I'm just jamming the music trying to get my mind straight.
Right.
So they trying to figure out why the fuck I did what I did. I'm trying to get away from the people who claim that they got my back.
Right. Right.
Cause I can't be, well, just suck it up. At least you lived.
Wait,
Don't
what?
tell people no shit like that.
Oh no.
What?
You know, it's just like telling a woman who got, if a dude beat her ass, well, at least, he loved you, but at least you lived. Like, no.
Yeah,
No.
So in that position, I didn't have time to get over that. And I didn't make time. And so that particular night, I just said, fuck it. I left. I was like, and I don't need to tell nobody where I'm at. Is it gonna hurt some people? Yeah. But when the time is right and I can talk to them, if they really love me, they'll understand.
So the intent wasn't to hurt yourself. The intent was just to get the fuck away.
Yeah. And I needed to.
Yeah. Did
Go ahead.
I feel like we might be asking the same question, but I don't know. But did you after you just we'll call it taking a break, just from reality for a second, right? Like, did you when you like just when you ran away from home, when you did for a little bit, did you like feel like you got what you needed from that, and then came back, or
Mine was similar.
Yeah.
I went to my doctor.
Okay.
So the doctor that I had the counselor that I had when I was doing my chemo had moved to Corsicana.
Okay.
So I was driving that night. And initially, I was just like, fuck it, I'm finna go to Buc-ee's. I like going to Buc-ee's.
Right.
Go to Buc-ee's, give me some corn nuggets, and hopefully they got, some barbecue, and I'm good. I'm drive down there. So that was like Ennis.
I've made a couple of late night bucket runs myself.
So that's like an hour drive for me. Clear my mind. But when I got there, I got my stuff and I sat in the parking lot. I stayed at Buc-ee's probably like 5 hours. And while I was there, I was trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do. And then I started getting these messages. Cause I'm on Facebook, I'm just bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm saying what I say, but that's me talking myself out of doing something.
I got you.
So then when I started, the first person to hear, I was like, man, I'm just
Right.
ignore that shit.
Yeah.
Like, y'all ignore the good shit, but y'all see the stupid shit and y'all run with it.
Now y'all care.
So I fall asleep. And I wake up and I see all these fucking messages. I say, you gotta be fucking kidding me. These people can't be this serious. Like, it can't be this serious.
It was pretty serious, bro.
It was pretty serious.
Yeah. And then it just, and by trait, by nature, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
If you call me and I don't answer,
Right.
Yeah.
you call me again. You call me again.
Yeah.
By that full time, I'm like, I ain't answering this shit.
Yeah. Right.
Fuck that. Fuck you called 20 times in a row. Like this. That irritates me. So now I'm not answering. Now I got everybody. Now I got people I don't even know hitting me up randomly. Hey, bro, I'm gonna pray for you. Oh, that's not the pray shit. Like, no, like y'all could literally drive somebody to really kill themselves if they was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because people saying stuff they don't even know. It's just like, what? So
don't know, don't mean. Yeah, all of that. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I didn't get the release that I needed.
Okay.
From the drive, from me chilling at Buc-ee's. And at this point, I don't even want to reach out to anybody that I know. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm in Ennis. I'm not that far. I'm just gonna go. So I called. They said come on. Then she said, well, have you had any accident or something, or have you been contemplating killing yourself? And I was like, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna go. So anybody who's ever been through this, they're not gonna take you unless they think that you're gonna harm yourself.
Right.
So I was like, okay. I called back. I said, yeah, I think I'm about to take a couple Benadryl.
Okay.
And drive back home. She's like, no, that's too dangerous.
It is.
Because she knew how far I was from home.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's too late, I'm already.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, you need to sleep it off and then come and we'll check you in. So when I got there and they checked me in, my doctor came, he just looking at me. He was like, it's been a long time. I was like, yeah. He's like, give me your phone. So he took my phone. So at that point, all the messages and stuff, I wasn't seeing it, but he was looking at it.
Yeah.
So he finally comes in, I'm in the room, relaxed. They got, gave me some food. I'm just laying there. They was making sure that I didn't take too much medicine, nothing like that. So he comes in and we just talking. And he was like, you gotta be one of the smartest people that I know. He's like, one, I already know why you did this. You did this to get checked in, because that's the only way they would have checked you in. Otherwise, I would have had to make an appointment, and they would have booked me like maybe a week, 2 later. He said that was clever. And he was like, you got all these people. He was like, I'm just reading the message. He was going through my phone. He was like, I'm just reading these messages. He's like, oh my God, do you know how many people love you?
Yeah.
He said, but they are gonna be pissed at you to know that you staged all of this just so I can see you. He gave me his card. He said, this is my direct number. Never do that again. He said, I'm giving you. And he said, we make these mistakes as doctors because we should be, in these situations, we should be more accessible. That way y'all don't have to go through this. But he was like, everything was strategic. He said, I'm looking at your texts like,
I mean, you are a writer.
Yeah. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You done created a whole movie.
The whole
and
producing
everybody.
these streets.
So.
He done recruited Buc-ee's and everything,
So, during that time, one person knew where I was. So, from almost the beginning.
Really?
Okay.
Only because she reached out. She reached out too. I was ignoring everybody. But I had one friend who knew who to contact. And they said, if something really wrong with him, I know who he's gonna respond to. His daughter. So somebody reached out to her mom. Her mom sent me a message, said, hey, I know you.
Yeah.
I know you're not doing anything to yourself. So you just probably don't want to be bothered. But in the case that I'm wrong and you doing something to yourself, what do you want me to tell her?
Wow.
I was like, you
Wow.
motherfucker, that was the lowest
Checkmate.
blow.
Wow. What do you want me to tell her?
So I picked up the phone.
Oh my God, that's heavy.
I picked up the phone. I called her. I was like, look, this is what I'm doing. I'm getting, I'm over here. I'm going to get, I'm here to get.
You thought you were strategic.
Right.
She put the whole gauntlet down.
She got that. She had the kryptonite.
Yeah.
She had it. Yeah. So, so I told her, and so she was like, okay, well, I'm good, as long as I know. So she called me back. I'm like, yo, what's up? She was like, I just got one more question. Do you want me to tell anybody else? I was like, I would prefer you not. Even if somebody else is wise enough to say, if nobody else knows, if he hasn't contacted anybody else, he's contacted that little girl.
Yeah.
I said, I need you to protect her from all these people that may try to reach. No, you're not. I'm not giving you. You tell her that I'm good, and she can and we can talk, but nobody else.
Yeah.
And she held on. She didn't. She didn't tell nobody.
That's what's up.
When I felt like I was good, I reached out to one of my sisters, and I just pinged. I pinged where I was, and showed the hospital. Of course, she knew. At that point, she knew.
Oh, she was like, okay, gotcha.
And so she was the first one that came on social media and said, he's good, we found him. But I did it when I wanted it to happen. Because at that point, we had already kind of done some of our counseling and we've had enough talks. And I was feeling okay. Because I knew at that point, as soon as everybody knew, I was going to start getting blasted, with calls. I even had people drive all the way down there.
Oh, wow.
Hey, what the fuck you doing? You're finna traumatize me again. Don't do that shit. Again, not something that I would recommend other people do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's hard. It's hard when you have that kind of pressure and people don't understand, and it's hard for you to explain it to people because unless they're going through it, they always look at stuff to be simple. Right. Or simple, just get over it. Just be happy you survive. No.
Yeah.
No. Fuck her.
Yeah. Right.
So.
I think another thing that sucks about going through certain things and having to deal with people, I think, and I know there's a couple people, like even in my personal life, that's kind of like this, but it's like, if I need you to be there, I kind of need you to be there in the capacity that I need you to be there.
Exactly.
For. You want to be there for me in the capacity that you want to be there before, and that does not help me at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, why don't you just talk to me? I need you to talk to me and tell me everything. Okay, first of all, keyword, you need me.
Right.
At this point, like you're trying to satisfy something in yourself through helping me. Yeah. And that doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? I might just want to just sit here and play video games.
Right.
I might not want to talk to you at all.
Right.
I might not even want to be in the same room with you. You might help me just by knowing that if I do need you, I can call you. Sometimes it's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just as simple as that. I think people need to get out of the mind frame of I'm going to help this person the way I like. Just like we were talking about, like knowing and understanding the crowd. Okay, if you're going to help me, know and understand me. Right. Know and understand that, like, this isn't your time to shine, and then later on down the line, you're expecting like me to make this big they were there for me when I couldn't find, like that, like innately a lot of times when people want to help, that's what they be wanting. Right. Like
I was there for you.
Yeah. It's like, so I think people need to know and understand, like, like if you're gonna try to help somebody, especially in a situation like that, be what they need, right? Or just don't be there at all. Right. Don't try to like, especially when you get those situations where you go through something like that and then they turn around and make it about them. Right. You hurt me. You did this. Yeah. Like,
that's what people. Yeah, I got so much of that.
Yeah.
You hurt me. Don't ever do that again. The fuck? Who the
it's
fuck?
Not
yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm the one going through it, but it's
you the one. You hurt. Got you. And what another thing, like with y'all doing that, and we're not just talking about talk, like this is stuff that I go through. Like, I think people just go through this in general. Like, when y'all do that, it makes me not want to talk to you even more. It makes me want to pull away from you even. Okay, I know that when I go through something, you're not going to do nothing but cause even more of a headache. Right. So instead of 3 Benadryls, I might have to take 4. Right. You know what I'm saying?
You're bringing that stress that I'm trying to release.
Exactly.
When I was sick, I had friends, talk about the wine show, that I thought, these my brothers, these my sisters.
They would never.
They wouldn't even come see me.
That's wild.
The few that did care reached out and was like, well, when I got well, bro, I didn't know what to say. It wasn't about what you said.
Yeah.
I didn't need you to come and say nothing magical.
Yeah.
I didn't need you to come. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. Sometimes I just wanted somebody to be there.
Yeah.
Just it.
Sometimes I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
So be there at the capacity that person needs you.
Absolutely.
I may not understand what you're going through, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I can help you.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't even know if I can help you.
Right.
But if you're gonna go through that, I'm gonna be here with you.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to go through it alone.
By yourself, yeah.
And I think people miss that because they do make it about themselves.
Yeah.
And when you deal with someone who is ornery and bullheaded and stubborn, again, you push me away. The more you try to press me to do something. I've never been a person that folded under peer pressure.
Same.
So it didn't matter that 1,000 people was looking for me.
Same.
And then calling and
Same.
my mama thought she was gonna break through.
Man, Jesus Christ.
Like no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Your title doesn't change.
Absolutely.
Like unfortunately, you're one of the people that got me in this mode too. So it's like you know.
Absolutely.
And it was funny because even the owners of the restaurant, they was he's going through this blah blah blah. No, motherfucker, y'all are part of the trauma.
Y'all part of the problem, yeah.
Because y'all expect me to be here. Not one time did you even show that you cared.
Yeah.
To say, you know what, we're gonna make sure we have security. We're gonna make sure that nobody is left here, so nobody has to deal with. No, it's just he
Hell,
good.
I'll stay.
Yeah.
It's my restaurant.
Right.
I'll stay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
He'll be all right. Or bro, just get your piece. Cause if I had my piece, what would happen that night?
Yeah. Yeah.
One or two of us could have been dead.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like we try to give people solutions that fit you. That's how you see it.
Right.
But I'm the one going through it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I always, you know, anytime I see somebody going through, I just, you know, I tell them I'm gonna pray for you based on the capacity of what you need,
Yeah.
not what I think you need.
Right.
Right.
And if you don't want me to pray, I'm just here. Just let me know,
Just let me know,
what you
yeah.
need from me. You just need me to be here.
Yeah.
If you just needed to hear me say that,
Yeah.
that's good enough.
Sometimes it just be simple shit, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of people like to be all theatric with their help.
Right.
And it's like, nah, man. Sometimes we good on that.
Yeah.
We good on that, man.
We good too.
I think that conversation was definitely needed. It was definitely needed, and appreciate you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Appreciate you for sharing.
Yeah.
that.
I don't think I mean, I briefly tried to, but in a public forum, I haven't addressed it totally.
Yeah.
So it's some people that may see this that be like, "Oh, damn, we were part of the trauma." Yeah, you were.
Yeah, you were.
You were, fuckers. Like,
I feel that, man.
Wow.
Man,
but they're not gonna accept it because they, you know, they're
Yeah.
well, because then
They're
that
godly.
would take accountability. And,
right. Yeah.
And,
Yeah. They
and
ain't
what
take
is that?
accountability, nothing. So that's why.
What is that?
Never. So that's why I'm not with them now. So.
I got you, fuckers. But
Fuckers.
anyway, man, let's man, we got some recurring segments. We pressing for time, and
Cool.
first of all, I definitely want to say you are definitely going to be back on. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we just scratched the surface. There's a lot more we want to talk about, but. We're going to go ahead and get into these recurring segments real quick, man. We got 3 recurring segments, 3 things we like to talk to you about and just deep dive a little bit more and get to know you. So the first one is top 5. The first one is top 5. So, you are a mixologist.
Okay.
You are a mixologist.
Yes,
I do know personally. You know, when I would come to Ella B's and see you back there, you know, mixing drinks and stuff like that, or whatever. I would like to know when somebody comes up and orders a drink, what is your top 5 least favorite drinks to make?
Mai Tai. First of all, I hate the name. Yeah, because people always try to make a joke about it.
Yeah.
Mai Tai. The fuck?
Fuckers.
I hate that.
Sorry.
I hate Mai Tais.
That's funny.
I hate dirty martinis.
Okay.
I hate any any alteration to a martini, so I'm gonna say like a lemon drop.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a lemon drop with crown? Can I get a lemon drop that don't have lemon in it? Somebody actually said that.
With no lemon. Hold
Yeah,
the lemon.
hold the lemon.
Let me get a cheeseburger with no cheese.
Right. And Bloody Marys.
But you don't like making them. Yeah.
And then last but not least, Long Island iced teas.
Now, why don't you like making Long Island?
First of all, cause where even now where I'm at Omni, we make like I craft from like I build it.
Gotcha.
So it's not a mix already together. And so the Long Island iced tea is probably one of the strongest drinks you can buy.
Right.
You can drink. Most people don't know that because they go to Chili's and Chili's give them some syrup shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah.
Tastes good. And they're like, I like this.
Right.
When you make a real Long Island iced tea, you're using 4 to 5 different liquors, all white liquors, and you're combining them hoes.
Yeah. Right.
Gin,
Right.
vodka, tequila, and rum.
Yeah.
Gin alone make people tear the club up.
Yeah.
You mixing that with all this other stuff, and then you put in a little sweet and sour and Coke.
Yeah.
Then you get somebody, this strong.
What did you expect?
5 liquors in you, dumbass. What do you expect? Stupid ass question I ever heard. The ones I taste there, they sweet because you went to Chili's. The fuck, you went to Applebee's. They sell them for $3. What do you expect? Like,
absolutely.
So most of the time people don't know. You know, they order something and they didn't really know what it was. So and it takes, you know, anytime you, especially when you got a lot of drinks to make, it's just some drinks you just be like, God damn, you know, because it's. So you almost want to cheat and have a batch of it already ready because you know I got 5 mixes where. With something else, you just liquor, mixes, boom, it's done.
Yeah.
But all the other shit is retarded.
Definitely coming to the Omni and ordering a Long Island from
Yeah. And not that I have a problem making it, I think the expectations, because it's like you almost got to always explain.
Right.
Like, oh, shit. If you get something, this drink is strong. You ordered the strongest shit, just like tasting fire. Right? You ate a piece of fire and something, it was hot, it burned my tongue. Dumbass.
What you think?
What do you think was going on?
All right, man. So moving on, the next recurring segment is we call this playing in the wrong key.
Okay.
All right. This is kind of our verse. This is our pet peeves. You know, you've done a lot, made a lot of moves in the industry, so you've seen a lot. All right. So what's playing in the wrong key for Top Foard?
Playing in the wrong key, as far as industry.
In this, anything in the industry. What's a pet peeve of yours?
People not prepared, and that goes to rehearsals, not rehearsing, not practicing their craft.
Yeah.
That's a pet peeve.
Yeah.
To the point where I can tell, you ain't picked that shit up. You ain't picked that shit up.
2 weeks since you played the drums.
Yeah, I knew somebody. I knew a drummer who pawned after every show pawned their equipment. So now you done proved me right, nigga. You don't play your drums until you come to this bitch.
I might know who you talk about.
Yeah.
But I feel that.
I know a few.
I know quite a few, but yeah.
At least show me you got some buckets at home. You be okay. I give you a pass on that.
I got this one situation. This and I didn't know it was his. I didn't know it was his. But there's one. He found it. We still joke about it to this day.
You end up buying his drum.
Well, no. He pawned his snare.
Oh.
He pawned his snare, and I wound up going in the pawn shop. Again, didn't know it was his. I saw it. I was like, yo, that's a dope snare.
Yeah.
Got it. Changed the heads, refurbished it and all that stuff, and then now it just sound pristine, whatever. He came to the crib. He was like, yo, did you get that snare from so and so? I was like, yeah. How you? He was like, bro, I pawned it. That was my snare. I was like, oh well, shit, my bad. It sound, and so he wound up playing on it. Sound beautiful. So now he missed it. Fast forward.
Brought it back.
No, fast forward. He was like, hey, bro. Something had happened with his snare. Hey, can I borrow this snare? Can I borrow this snare? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can borrow it. I ain't got that snare back to this day.
That's
Wow.
Till this day, that snare is still at that church.
wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I it's like if it was, I think if it was somebody else, it would have been like it would have been like a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
If it was somebody else, like I probably would have waited till they started service.
Yeah.
To go in. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I believe this belongs to me.
And and everything that came with it, with that family, I would have been with it. But that's the homie. So I was like, you know what? And we still joke about it. We still joke about it. But yeah, dude stole that snare back. That's Jack. And it's still at that church. But it's all good. All right, man. So moving forward, last one. We call this one Gig Tales. So good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. What's that one gig story situation? This could have been while you was, as general manager, something you saw. It could have been, while you, at the wine cellar doing one of the plays. What's a story, a dope gig story you got?
My favorite one that I always, for whatever reason, I'll never forget it. It always amuses me. We were doing the wine cellar, and I was notorious because back then, again, we didn't have crazy internet connections,
Mm-hmm.
So on the flyers, I used to have my name.
Yeah.
So we didn't know where them flyers went.
Mm-hmm.
They were just out there.
Mm-hmm.
So people would call 5 minutes for the show, 10 minutes for, hey, bro, where is it? What's the address? How'd you get my number?
Right.
It's on the flyer. Did you read the flyer? You read my number. You didn't read the address? My number is under the address, you dumbass. So it would piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
Even my sister, she would call, hey, we're lost. What's the address? Like, stop calling me.
Right.
So I would start the show, and I would be on the mic hosting. And my phone would ring. And I'd just be like, fuck it, I'm going to answer it. Okay. And I would answer it with the crowd, and I would put it on speaker and put it on the mic so people could hear the person. Hey, have y'all started yet? We on our way.
I've seen it.
So it'd be like, you better not put me on speaker. Too late. We already, everybody say hi. Even my host, TK, my co-host, she did it one time. She called, she was like, you better not have me on speakerphone. Everybody say hi. Hey, TK. I can't stand you. So this one particular day, we doing the show. My phone goes off. Everybody was like, yep,
it's time.
We about to do it. Bloop. Hello? Yo, is Keisha there? Who? Keisha. I don't know, bro. Who is you? This her husband. Like, yeah, I think you got the wrong number. Is this poetry wine thing show?
Wait.
I'm like, yeah. My wife Keisha, she come all the time. Is she there? I'm like, bro, this is my phone number, and I actually got you on the mic. I said, but hold on for a second. I said, how many is a Keisha in here? It was like 6 of them in there. I said, look, you ain't got to tell me who it is, but I knew who it was.
Oh, wow.
I was funny. Like, you ain't got to tell me who it was. So he talking shit. Now he talking shit. I was like, well, bro, are you the nigga that be doing them poetry for her and shit? I said, I'm one of the dudes. He said, what? I said, so how many of y'all niggas be doing? I said, probably about 6 or 7. I was like, hold on, tonight is probably 8. That nigga was on the phone mad at me. Hilarious. She got up and walked out. I saw her walking out the door. That was funny. I said, bro, why don't you come to the shows with her?
Right.
I'm trying to see what nigga she up there talking to. I said, I can't answer you that.
Yeah.
Why don't you come to the shows with her? She come all the time.
Yeah.
I said, you might enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm. You might get something after.
I said, but don't call this number again.
Yeah.
Unless you trying to buy a ticket, never call this number again, nigga.
Right. That's
So
hilarious.
he must have saw the flyer on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it.
Yeah. Oh, ignorant ass.
That's
Like,
hilarious.
That made himself look like an ass calling you. Put him on speaker in front of the whole crowd. And embarrass his girl.
after that night, I said, I told my team, I said, yeah, we got to take my number off that flyer. So that's what we found, a burner number, and we started using that. But yeah, my real number, I was like, yeah, But that was always funny to me because
That is funny.
it started off as a joke, and then the joke almost turned against me, but I still found a way to flip it back on him. But yeah, that was crazy.
That's hilarious, man.
That's
Lou, what you got?
Man, so I don't have any more questions. I think the questions are questioned out.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I do got one. I do got one. This is gonna be my last one. This is all I got. You run into a younger version of yourself. You run into I don't know, let's say 15-year-old Ty, who's inspiring to get in the game and inspiring to do these things, be a playwright, poet, inspiring to be something. What advice do you have for him?
I'm gonna give him two choices. Be you, and if you be you got a great chance of ending up being me, who I am. But your other option is I need you to be selfish. I need you to be more selfish. I'm not gonna say selfish, because if I say selfish, that means selfish all the time.
Yeah.
I need you to be a little bit more selfish than what you tend to be. Because there's a possibility that you would have been able to break through some doors, open up greater opportunities for yourself. And you still would have been able to, because it's in you, you still would have been able to be who I am, but you would have developed more resources to be more effective. There were times where I look back and say, I should have been selfish.
I feel that.
I shouldn't have been so worried about the team. I should have took the shot. Center stage situation, instead of sitting in the back and putting everybody else in front, pushing my crew, I should have took center stage. Sometimes we need that person, that one person who has the it factor to get through, so they can bring us all through.
Absolutely.
Too many times I think I made it a team thing and said, if we don't do it as a team, if we don't get there as a team, then I don't want it.
Yeah.
I've turned down deals.
Yeah.
I turned down offers, opportunities. One of my first opportunities getting out of college was I auditioned to be on Disney's cruise.
Okay.
Performing, doing musicals. Turned that down.
Wow.
I had an audition to Juilliard. Turned that down. Many opportunities to leave Dallas and go other places and, kind of start and get an opportunity. Turn it down because I wanted to be here with my people. I wanted my crew. Had plays that say, here, let's take this play on the road, but we got to recast. And I'm like, nah.
No, I got you.
If I can't bring my team that's been with me, why? I don't want it. There were some deals I should have took.
right.
I got you.
Because there were some motherfuckers I made sacrifices for that had 3 knives ready to stab me in the back.
Yeah.
3.
So that's what I would say. Don't be so gullible to say that just because this is the homies, or this is somebody you brought up and gave so much opportunity that they would do the same for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So
What would his response be? 15-year-old Ty.
his response would be the first option would be that's me. I've always been the type of person that wanted to give, even if it's giving more than what I have. But I think he would have explored the second option just because the creative mindset is like, okay, so people are really like this.
Yeah.
Because when I was 15, I didn't believe people was like that. I thought people was disloyal to you because you showed that you were disloyal, that you showed that you wasn't willing to do what you said. And I just felt like if I was a man of my word, then why wouldn't you trust me?
Yeah.
I felt like that if I took care of my people, you worked for me, and we signed a contract and said, this is how much I'm gonna pay you. And each time, that's what I paid you. She come along and say, how's Ty as a businessman? Man, we didn't make a lot of money working with him.
Yeah.
No, that's not what she asked you. She
Yeah.
said,
Right.
based on the business that y'all had and whatever y'all agreed to, did he hold that up?
Yeah.
Yeah. And any opportunity where there was increase, I volunteered it.
Right.
You didn't have to ask me. So when people would come and ask, I'm like, bro, you know, if I got this, I'm gonna give it to you.
Right.
So I always tried to be a man of my word and fair. And then even if it was, like, I didn't mind people negotiating. We had a situation where it was a negotiation
Absolutely,
thing.
yeah.
And it just came down to, look, this is what I got.
This what we can do. Yeah.
This is all I can do.
Something else I learned from you too.
Yeah. And when you're honest about that, people can only respect it.
Yeah.
And you have every right to say, no, I can't do it. Okay. I can't be mad at you because you have said this is what I need to do it.
Yeah.
You can't pay that, so unfortunately I can't do it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta find somebody who can do it for this rate. And if I ever get to this point, for me, if this person rocking with me, I'm giving them first option when I can pay this.
Right.
Say, hey, you rocked with me on this little amount. Now I can pay you this. You want to do it?
Right.
But if they can't or refuse it or not available, then I'm coming to you say, hey, bro,
Yeah.
I know what your rate is. I got it now.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's respecting business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I price myself out on people.
Right.
So I know. So I don't get mad when somebody tell me this is what they want and I can't pay them.
Right.
Because I'm like, you know how many motherfuckers done came to me and asked me to do something? And I'm like, this is my rate. And they say, well, I can do this. Okay, I can't.
I can't do it. Yeah.
I help you find somebody who can, but I can't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So but I think people are, one, intimidated and they don't understand business, so they take it personal.
Yeah.
Man, you ask me something stupid.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I need you to come do one song. Gee, that's $1,000, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Because you need show me the one person who paid you that.
Right.
Like don't play me.
Yeah.
You help me make $4,000. I pay you $1,000.
Yeah.
Because whatever I pay you, I got to be able to make. That's business.
Absolutely.
Whatever I pay you, I got to be able to make 3 times that amount.
Yeah. And
That's what people don't understand.
And I think when it was us, my thing was at the time I didn't understand everything on the back end. I hadn't put on I was a part of putting on a production, but then even that your team doesn't always see the back end shit.
Yeah.
They don't see the sacrifices that you have to make. It's like, okay, well shit. Like even as something as simple as, well, man, I can't call a caterer. Well shit, I'm about to make this lasagna myself.
Yeah.
I'm about to make this vegan spaghetti myself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, man, them niggas
Clean up.
they ain't calculating how much food they eat.
Exactly. They not like how much food
That ain't even conversation.
they just you know we just showed the gas that it took to go you know what I'm saying, to go down there and come back and you know what I'm saying, like all of getting everybody hotel room together, like all that stuff.
And nobody paid for a hotel, nobody paid for gas, all that.
We just showed up, rolled, ate, did we had to do, then you know what I'm saying, whatever. And you know what I'm saying, so it's like you, and I tell people this all the time, like whether you're in the room or not, and I say it publicly, you are the person that taught me, like, oh shit, it's way more to it than just showing up and getting paid.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be on the boss end of it,
Right.
If you're gonna be the one running it, it's even going to like dealing with all the different personalities and dealing with all the different, you know what I'm saying, it's like you know, having to be a chameleon of some sorts, because Because now I'm in a position to where I have to have hands on everything.
Right. Yeah, I tell people, if I got 10 people, I got to deal with 10 different mindsets.
Absolutely.
You only got to deal with one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And y'all going ape shit crazy. I'm driving y'all crazy. It's 10 of y'all. What y'all think y'all doing to me?
Absolutely.
So it's you know, it's always like, and that's why I tell people, you may not ever come on this side, but get an understanding of the business.
Absolutely.
And then you know why it makes sense. And if you are on this side, one, some of us need to stop lying to our people. You done promise people nothing that you know. You promise them something you know you can't do.
Oh, I know a lot of people like that.
Like, don't do that. Just be straight up honest.
Yeah.
But at some point, you gotta understand, motherfuckers ain't doing nothing for free.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
So if
having
you,
a realistic expectation of what you got going
right,
on.
how many
too.
times have you asked me to do it for free?
Yeah.
Especially if I know now you are turning a profit.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
No.
I feel
And so it was, you know, it was funny because I bring up, I remember you said, you was like, but bro, you know, when we first started with you, we didn't really have no name, but now we kind of developed the name.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means. we talking about what the agreement was. And it was, and I understood.
Yeah.
It was like in the middle, because they do it, I mean, they do it in real TV. They do it in real life. A player has a contract, and they come back and say, hey, I think we need to renegotiate.
Yeah, because at that time, I'm looking at it like, okay, well, I mean, shoot, we don't make some noise now.
Yeah.
Like, it's I did like, and there's some ego on my end too. There's some ego on my end because.
But you're an artist. Every artist has a little ego.
But it's from the standpoint of I'm not that kid that you met in high school anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, we've come up now. I know some of the. In my mind, I'm like, man, I know some of the baddest musicians, and then I bet Ty is like, yeah, I put them on too. Yeah, all the niggas you know, I probably put them on. But yeah, so
I got a Grammy too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's funny.
So it's you know, a learning experience, man, and it's just like being able to be in a position rocking with you, just understanding that there's more sides to it than just the side that you're standing on. So with that being said, we're going to segue into this. Foard, we did bring you on to have an interview and talk to you and stuff like that, but that is not the only reason we brought you on.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's not the only reason we brought you on.
Gonna jump me one day.
But in all honesty, man, we definitely just simply want to bring you on and give you your flowers. Now, we don't have the budget to give you real flowers, nor to give you fake ones either. But we definitely wanted to sit here and give you your flowers, man. You have been a pioneer throughout this whole thing, this scene, man. You put so many people on. You've literally sacrificed your mental, your health to make sure that other people were in positions that you felt like they were worth being, even if they didn't feel like they were worth being. That you've done a lot for people. Like even for me, you know what I'm saying, you've done a lot. I've been able to like watch you, even if it was from the background. We didn't talk for a couple of years. I'm still watching, studying, and just want to simply say thank you. Yes, we love you. We see you, and we are definitely looking forward to way more from Foard, man.
Oh, wait, wrong seven.
we gonna call it the liquor cabinet.
Right.
We gonna call it something else. The liquor cabinet. But now, man, we love you. We see you. Thank you so much for everything that you contributed to us and everybody else, man. Yes. Real talk. Y'all clap it up for Foard one time.
I appreciate that.
Y'all clap it up for him one time.
I want to say one thing to the wine seller. I appreciate it. Everything you just said. The way that I could do this show, the only way I could do this show, I have to be honest. I never wanted to do it in the past. I did it because of my crew. Because it did give them that space. It gave them that opportunity. It gave me an opportunity to promote them.
Yeah.
My shows were just to promote my plays.
Yeah. I get what you're
because
saying.
I didn't make money from the wine cellar. I made money because the crowds that we were pulling funneled over to watch my plays.
I got you.
So when I stopped doing it, it wasn't like I lost something. When I stopped doing it, I had already lost. I lost everybody I thought was my friend.
Wow.
My entire team, my crew.
Wow.
I thought they were my friends. I thought they were my brothers. I thought they were my sisters. And at the lowest point of my life, I'm about to lose my life. I lost, and I was shown that everything that we was doing was based on me spearheading everything, and I couldn't depend on them. So for me to revisit the wine cellar, and that's hard for me to say, it would be me revisiting all of the hurt that I experienced by losing those people that when we look at those times and we laugh and we reminisce about how great they were, my joy was seeing these people that I thought was my family and building them up. So the only way that I say it would have to be on a higher level, I would have to find a team of people that was just excited about doing it, because I would be more excited about helping them feel that experience
I got you.
than me. Because I and it's kind of, I don't know if that's arrogant to say, I don't need the wine cellar.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
But I definitely would embrace that similar family feeling that I had back then.
It was because it was definitely a family.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm happy that I was a part of it.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Man, Lou, what you got?
Man, it's been a great night.
I appreciate you, man.
This has been a really great night, really dope conversation. Once again, everybody, DFW Shed Sessions. We got another legend sitting on the couch with us in Foard. Make sure you follow him. See what he got going on. If you call, he probably won't answer, but it's okay. He gonna be all right.
Send a text.
He gonna
tell you that's the best way, boy.
He gonna be all right, man. We got Professor Mel Will in the building, Lupa Beats in the building, myself, J Ell Groove. Another good night. Y'all have a good one, and remember, it ain't gonna suck yourself. To God be the glory. We talk to y'all later.
I love that. Hey, let me know when that shirt is ready.
No, why would?